time to go get this run going. So, yeah, this is going to be the monster run, or the Godzilla run, as Mr. Vale wanted it to be. So we'll go ahead and just wait a minute here for a couple folks to drop by, as it were. Just to, we always got to wait to make sure some folks drop by. Now, again, the interesting thing about this is not like a regular monster run from FFT. So basically every single thing in the game has gotten different like passives, different abilities, different all of that since the original version. So almost none of it's the same. I don't know most of it, but what interested me about this is that Mr. Cerabow was mentioning a few possible challenge ideas because I wanted to do some challenge runs of this mod to keep testing it. And one of the things that came up was the fact that several people had tried a monster run, but none had completed it. So, naturally, my first thought was, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and try this. I'm sure this is definitely not a bad sign that nobody's ever finished it as of yet. Though, to be fair, I don't know the circumstances as to why they didn't finish it just yet. So, let's pop this link where it needs to go. Make sure everybody sees it. Gotta go do that whole advertising thing and all that. And of course, it decides to jump to several different windows multiple times. Stop jumping to different windows! Apparently, like, sliding to the side opens up literally whatever was posted in a particular... Like, whatever. That's not the run. Who cares? Moving on. So, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Yes. Now, despite the fact that there's an option to continue, none of my saves actually made it from the previous run. So, we're going for a new one here. But yeah, this is a completely new setup, so, none of the old stuff made it, as it were. I might still be able to recover some of the old files, but I'm not sure. Alright, so the one name that was already requested for this guy, and the one name that makes sense, and why is my controller suddenly not working? Oh, that's a good sign. Okay, apparently two of my keybinds decided not to work. I mean, good thing. Good thing, better to find that out now than later, I suppose. Though, I guess this isn't exactly ideal either, is it? Okay, time to restart. That was quick. That was quick. Yeah, you can't redo the controls from when it's already running. So hang on, we'll be back up to business in just a moment here. And why exactly aren't you working? Yeah, this one's left. This one... Oh. Well, that's probably why. It's because I had them going in the wrong directions. Alright. There we go. Fixed it. Now it'll actually work or something. Choco Griffin? Exactly. I was asking Mr. Cerabow to potentially help me out with that one yesterday, and then I realized, wait a minute, the wiki probably has it, and it totally did. Because I really wanted to stick that Chocobo head on the Griffin. I think I'm just going to do that as a joke from now on. I always have that Griffin sitting there on the right side. So I figure, you know what, why not? We're just going to stick whatever is relevant to the particular run on that unfortunate Griffin's face. It does kind of look a little bit like a mask now that I look at it, but it seemed like the most fitting location for it. More or less. Alright, so, new game. Again, none of the old saves made it. Not that it really matters, that runs over anyway. Alright, there we go. Now that I have the controls redone in a way that actually works, let's do this thing! Why are you taking so long to load? Or thingy. Alright. So, first off, Jet Jaguar is going to be our hero here. It's going to be the one going to fight off all the monsters here and raise all of them. Actually, it's funny. His backstory, like, I don't remember a lot of the Godzilla stuff, but yeah, his backstory is weird. Like, they've changed it 3 or 4 times when I was looking over the wiki yesterday. Like, bear in mind, my experience with all the Godzilla stuff. Hang on, I think it was June 27th. I might just be pulling a random day out of my rear end here, but it's possible. It should be that day. See, it's kind of a chocolate color too, so a chocolate Choco Griffin. The double Choco Griffin of legend, and yes, Gojira, exactly. So, if you didn't know, they're making another, like, legit overseas Godzilla movie, apparently, by the end of this month. So I'm hoping to have some progress made on this run by then. But yeah, Mr. Vale was saying, hey, there's potentially a hell of a lot of monsters that could also work for FFT. Why don't you make that crap happen? So, here we are. Let's go stare at some nice CGI mountains. Man, I love this intro. And yes, I love this way more than the War of the Lions version, I'll be honest. Just because, A, the music is a lot crisper. Like, you just get straight to the themes right away. In the remake, they had a whole lot more like sound effects going on, and they're trying to. Okay, the overall direction of the intro made a lot more sense in the remake. But in this one, I just love how it's simple. You know, it does what you need it to do. And it gets to the music right away, and they're like, check out these helmets and these crazy eyeballs. Man, this looks really out of place, actually. There's that guy with a headband that never actually shows up for the fight. I think that's supposed to be the archers, but they don't all look like archers. So check the pending changes for the next patch, and only crossbows would affect you. Okay, well, here's what I'm thinking, by the way. Since technically there's no Beastmaster class or whatever else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the Rune Negotiator, as we're going to go ahead and call him. So the Runemaster is essentially like a magically version of the old Negotiator, but it's basically what you need to start getting your beasts trained and whatever else. Which, by the way, Mr. Cerabow, it's what's it? 4 black, 5 white for Runemaster, right? Something like that. I forgot to check. Well, actually, I can't check because I can't get my my other save file back right now. Let's see, did anyone else notice the PS1 cinematic is Goltana's man, whereas PSP's version is Belita? Yeah. I've watched this intro a lot and wondered a lot about the details here. But it's a little bit odd. Actually, come to think of it, Headband guy might be Delita now that I think about it. Do you ever see his armor? It's like, there's the Head Knight guy. Fair enough. I mean, you see the archers. You see the 2 archers. You see the chemists. One thing I do find funny is in the intro, you can't really see that lake that he escapes off of. It's just, it kind of looks like it's just a little, you know, church tower on a hill. Like, where's that lake and that bridge that they get off of? What? It's totally there, behind a hill. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not to scale. Oh well, I still love this intro more than the remake, even if it doesn't necessarily make sense. See, there's a slight change I made during the end of the intro battle with Delita. Oh. Well, alrighty. Well, first of all, and one of the big features of the Cerabow mod, you hold down X to make the story go away. So we're gonna do that. Man, I love this game. It's like, it's weird because part of my brain's always in the back, like, this could have been episode 8. It's like, yeah, but it's also FFT, so it's awesome. So don't question it. Alright. So 3 white, 3 Oracle. What's the deal with Oracle? That was, oh, sorry. Oracle is 3 monk, right? I think it was like monk and white mage, if I recall correctly. And by the way, the rules that we're going to be going by this is just standard classic FFT challenge run rules. So, you know, SCCs or whatever else you wanted to do from back then, wherein your entire party, or at least the main, like, your main force of your party has to be made by Dorter Tracer. So you have you have all that area basically to go putz around in. So that's going to give us the lions, or the Quaras, as it were. I don't think that gives us access to dragons just yet. We get access to bombs immediately after Dorter. See, Runeseeker is the top of the support magic tree, so literally Chemist, White Mage, Oracle, Runeseeker. Direct. Understood. Alright, so I think what we're gonna do... How do we power level this? I think we'll probably just make everybody into the same class and then just take some random fights. And then just kind of power level it to make sure that we can get it all done probably within 3 fights. Excuse me, Mr. Braxton, what are you doing over there? Over here, now. That's what I thought. Lay down. Alright. Got Rad killed and you run. Oh my god, how'd you do that? He's an invincible, like, Mega Dragoon. How did you accomplish such a feat? Yeah, it's weird how one of the archers looks different in the intro. Man, poor Rad. Such a beast. Jet Jaguar, the mercenary. Right. Comes with any weather. Alright. I'm just checking what's changed equipment-wise here, or everything else-wise. Labian, you a little bit fancy for coming here? Like, no, I need my perfume, and I need my hiking vest, and I need my little Canadian hat, but let me get my sword and shield. Let's see, he was overwhelmed below where you were standing. Oh. Well, that's a shame. Oh, you mean in this fight? I thought you, like, got him killed off proper. Alright, I guess we'll actually get to the actual gameplay, huh? Fine. Alright, let's go ahead and give this guy the old shanky shank. He means the underground library. Oh! Oh! Right, I forgot that's under there. I always kind of appreciated that as a detail, like where they, they bring the story right back to where it started. Which is kind of why I consider the, one of the coda endings for TO, the proper ending. Because they actually did that for TO as well. So, yeah, like in that one, normally the ending's like, you basically conquer all the other factions there, and then you get to the very end, they're like, okay, so it turns out there's some friggin' super beasts. Yeah, she got lightning stab. Why wouldn't she get lightning stab? Is it rare or something? Get that 1 in a million visited by lightning Agrius. You'll get all your lightning powers, but only if you like and share and all that crap. But what's it? But yeah, so like in TO, they have that whole thing where like right at the very end, last minute, they're like, but there's also a boss gauntlet, we should go over there. And so you go down, well, you go all the way up a mountain, and then all the way down it, and then you just fight some super beasts that was apparently your dad. But, anywho, they, you broke her Canadian hat, how dare you, you dick! Man. Alright, it's just high JP cost, she normally just has stasis. So, how does that work, by the way? So they just have some pile of points, and then before the fight, they like randomly roll skills based off whatever it would, like, based off whatever they want to buy? Is that how that works? Alright, they're getting pretty thoroughly wrecked considering what happened last time. Because I remember this taking a couple tries last time, and yet we got the first one down. Their chemist is within 1 hit of death, so gonna go shank him real good. Interesting name you got there, sir. I'm assuming your labor didn't go terribly well. Man, what do you want to name your son? Ah! Expletives ensued. Alright. Let's go ahead and finish this guy, I think. You should be able to attack from here. There we go. Oh yeah, so to finish that little story I was telling about. So, yeah, they actually added a sort of second ending when they did the Tactics Ogre remake. So basically they had this whole bit where, like, it's established your character has time travel powers by that point, and they basically, like, they go back in time. They go save some of the bigger characters that got killed off in especially messed up ways. Like one guy that gets sucked into a hell portal, another guy that gets tortured until he becomes a vegetable, and all that kind of thing. So you go back, you get all of them, and then you take all your A-team, and then you just basically go back in time to the intro of the game, and then you just basically keep going backwards through different scenes of the intro. And every single time they're like, no, we're not back far enough yet, until we finally go back to the very first scene. There's like every boss in the game standing on a cliff, and then they all just like come down while you have, well, technically speaking, in order to actually beat them, you have to use your 3 main characters, and so they're just like all sitting there fighting every boss at once. It's a pretty awesome way to close it out. And then, you know, they go back to their dad that previously got, like, well, he previously gets kidnapped, and then, like, the entire town gets burned, basically. And so, like, they go to that guy, and he's like, oh yeah, you're not actually from this time, are you? Like, no. Like, we're clearly grown up. They're, like, presumably maybe 10 years older or whatever else. And so they're all there, like, you know, main characters dressed up like a king, you know, secondaries dressed up as a queen. even though it's kind of the tertiary and the secondary that end up getting married, whatever. And then last guy's, like, he's basically the same. He never changes. The poor guy just only changes his facial expressions. But point being, they go to him and they're like, yeah, so here's what we did. You know, we managed to save the entire thing. We managed to overthrow everybody. Managed to take down all the tyrants, and also, yeah, we totally couldn't save you. You died. He's like, oh, well, you tried. And then they all have a hug, and that's the end. It's like, that's a sweet little ending there. Alright, back to actually reading the chat here. So, every unit, including enemies, gets assigned a job, i.e. Runeseeker 4. They gain all required job levels and points to get that job, and all TP tied to that job level, i.e. 1100 JP for L4 Runeseeker. Every skill has a % chance to be learned, and I think it goes down the skill list and learns skills if it hits the learn % chance. Okay? So a level 4 Runeseeker would learn Defend Up because it's Oracle, and they need at least that JP amount to get Runeseeker. Understood. Also, yeah, I was making fun of the other guy, but this guy's name is Dish. What the hell? Yeah, and say hello to your brother. His name is Plate. And then over here we have your sister Bowl. Make sure not to forget to say goodbye to your cousin Coffee Cup. Alright. But yeah, that's interesting. Like, okay, I love the background mechanics of all these games. Like, anything Matsuno gets involved in is needlessly complicated, and I love it. Just always way more effort to do very specific things than anybody ever asked for. Alright, there we go. Nice. Thank you for not rolling that counter. Yeah, Jet Jaguar here doesn't even get hit. Now, I know canonically Jet Jaguar is supposed to be a fist fighter. What I want to do ideally is have him train at least some monk up over the course of all this, so hopefully he'll get some monk skills. I want him to get, like, but he can't use Equipped Fist. I know it's not actually called Equipped Fist, but I like calling it Equipped Fist. Because, yeah, he's got to have monster skills. So, what I was going to say is he is going to be essentially a Tactics Ogre Beastmaster. He's going to use every monster skill as relevant, and then he's going to ideally be a Squire. Ooh, he's got a blue one! Oh, man, that's going to be... Dude, this makes total sense. He's going to... Oh, man, Submersible Chocobo. Yeah. Oh, man, that's awesome. It's a submarine chicken. Beautiful! I love it! I love it! Man. Makes sense considering the complexity of the system, I suppose. Yeah, that's a good one. I love it. I love it. Kind of makes me think of okay, so I only mention it because again they wholesale took a lot of the same inspirations and same mental paths as it were when it came to that PSP remake and all that. And yeah, when they were doing the whole skill system, it's bizarre because every now and then you'll see characters with multiple proficiencies, and you're like, why the hell do you have all this stuff? Because they would almost always select one of the different weapon types, because its whole thing was just like, they spawn in with 2 or 3 weapon skills. And then they basically have, well, they apparently have a random number that they roll as far as what they might want to use. Plus they come in with randomized stats, plus they come in with some other stuff in the background, like as far as randomized equipment goes. So, like, let's say they roll some light armor that gives them some slightly more dex, then they might be a bit more likely to use a dagger over, like, a hammer or something like that. Like, it's weird. It's weird. So yeah, ton of randomness to that one too. And it's the weirdest thing, because yeah, like, the base game, there was this smattering of random stats all over the place. Like, you get like +3 dex off leather, or you get +2 vitality off chain or something. And those base stats for a good bit of the game are basically what decides how much damage you'll do. Not that it's explained very well, mind you, but dang it, I should have used both chemists. I could have gotten him up to White Mage immediately. Okay, we are gonna grind the crap out of that chemist until, dang, what is it, like 5% carryover for JP? Hang on, what the hell was it? If you use the chemist real good, then Ramza gets some points. That's what I'm trying to get at. 25% spillover. Is that only when they gain a level, or is that total? Ooh, we got one of the testers, I think. For all units participating in the battle? Okay. Okay, we got one of the testers! Hi there, Lucky Sylveon! We get to kill you off in the intro. Alright, Evans. And Noah. Alright. I don't assume that Evans has anything to do with Evan H, because I don't know if... Evan, are you officially a tester on this? I don't know. Are you in here? Ooh, thank you, Mr. Cerabow, for the hosty tap dealy. Do you have... Yes. You throw that rock. You throw real good. Yeah. He threw that rock. I'm proud of him. He's a good boy. He's a good boy throwing that rock. Alright. Let's have you take this tile. I pretty much always have him take that tile. Somewhere in there. Sweet. So is it actually your name, or is Evans you? Evan is a tester. I think he shows as Evan H. Understood. Well, we have your cousin, regular Evan, over here somewhere. Oh yeah, I don't think you can... Wait, could you... I forget if Delita was controllable last time. I think he might have been. Evans is a benevolent name. Alright. Well, that's your distant cousin. Presumably he'll come back for revenge later. Alright. So their chemist is almost gone. I think there's a possibility that one of my squires rolled rock, throw rock. People call me Evans in real life, amongst other things. Okay, Mr. Evans. I'm just like imagining Principal Skinner. Evans! Alright. Moving on. Jerk. Well, geez. Alright. Did you come with Throw Rock? No, you came with Wish. I don't think his skill's randomized. Because he's always wishing. He's a wishing man. Slash very, wait, what? I told you to attack, not wish. No, you can't go wishing for a date in the middle of a robbery. Alright. Why you gotta accumulate? What is that? You'd be able to finish this guy. Do we just want to go double flank? I mean, if he's got accumulate, I really might as well just spread out. Yeah, we'll go ahead and double down on the middle here. Have him take an accumulate. And yeah, I'm not going to do the whole grinding for crazy amounts of JP thing on this fight. So what I want to do is turn everybody into chemists, and then we're going to go for like a mass shanking over on Mandalia. Mass shanking maneuvers. Nice. Man, thank you, chemist, for being a moron. What a smart boy. A crit there would have been amazing, but unlikely. Out of curiosity, what is the base crit rate? Is there any way to know that? Or does it just sort of happen? Let's see, if you knew you better, I'd be... Or if I knew you better, I'd be harsher. I mean, close to, hang on. Wait, Lysipans? Okay. Let's see, close to my friends, just my wife. Yeah, you should see the way my wife and I talk to each other. Well, to be fair, I never say a single mean thing. But that's kind of the running joke. I refuse to say anything mean. And then, she responds in the total exact opposite. It's kind of our little running in joke. Which tends to give... Okay, so looks are generally pretty priceless when you do that, like, in the company of people you don't know. Like, I kid you not, and pardon my French, but, like, my official title at home is the diaper bitch. So... cause yeah, like, most of the time, most of the day, watching over the kiddos, changing all the diapers, all that kind of thing. So, so yeah. You know, people tend to have funny reactions to that. But then it just makes it even funnier. Alright, let's go. Okay, roll that 5%. Roll that 5% straight off this wall. Oh. See, meaning and fuse have to vanish for a little bit. Man! The vanish doesn't do anything. It just makes you not get hit by certain skills, I think. To be honest, I have no idea what vanish does, to this day. No clue. It does something, I'm sure. Not that I would know what it is. I mean, it makes you see-through, so enjoy being see-through. He came with a crossbow? Oh man, he is a tester. You're right, I completely missed that. He's a tester, and he came with a crossbow. Nice! Nice! Love it. Yeah, that was a diagonal. I shouldn't have taken it, but I didn't realize he had a crossbow. Oh, that's awesome! Got 2 testers in our very first fight. Alright, yeah, let's just have you go ahead and have yourself a little bit of a drink. You're in a completely safe spot, but whatever. I'm not going to bother cannibalizing everybody in this fight, because, you know, squires, who cares. But yeah, we're just going to try to finish this up as quickly as possible. 1 tester's on your team. Yeah, and he's the guy with the crossbow. I didn't realize you could get a crossbow in your very first fight. Or at least not in the mod, anyway. I know that you couldn't in the original. Because I don't think they could even use crossbows in the original. Man, Icy Pandas, I feel bad that I'm going to have to fire you later. Yes, screwed up Expos a lot through order. Yeah, apparently crossbows are getting buffed in the next patch. I know, Mr. Cerabow, I'm spilling your beans, I'm sorry. This is important news that has to be shared. Yeah, they couldn't in original, but also they can't normally use crossbows now either. Oh. Well, yeah, exactly, your beans are everywhere, I'm sorry. Well, in that case, look at this magical bastard right here. Thought that maybe didn't make a little bit of sense. In that case, I feel less bad for having to fire you later. Because you're over here cheating with all your hacks. Alright. Well, you can't take a normal shot, so just go shoot at this guy. He's at full health anyway. Yeah, go figure the one time it rolls at the secondary. The one time it doesn't need to. Alright, do you have any other skills or just items? Okay, just items. You go here then. Expos might be purchasable now, just not until you get to Igros. I thought they could be before too. Pretty sure they could be in last patch and or vanilla maybe. Oh, I forgot about that guy! The sneaky tester over here trying to shank my chemist. You sneaky bastard. Alright, let's go deal with you. Or actually, he just took his turn. Let's go deal with this guy. Yes, yes. Did daggers get nerfed? I feel like they're doing a lot less damage now. Also, go figure, I brought the 2 guys with daggers. Just, like, brought the lowest possible damage that I could have. Potions healing for 40 will help in the early game. Oh! Didn't even realize that. This is nice. This is very nice. So, basically what you're saying is Auto Potion has become even more OP. So, yes! Amazing! Or unchanged from ever? Okay. We'll just assume I don't notice things and move on then. So I guess super weak early game, crazy strong mid game, kind of somewhere in the middle. They either do no damage or they completely disable something by end game. Yeah? Something like that? Man, I really need to find... there's no way I can do double frog daggers on a monster character, so what do we do about that? How do I make that happen? We'll see. We'll see, because I know for a fact that the, Actually, wait a minute, aren't both of, aren't both of the monster skill things, technically passives? As in, like, they take the passive slot? Because I don't, okay, we're not going to use Poach, because he's not a poacher. Oh, kitties are good? Alright, awesome. But no, what was I saying here? So yeah, I know there's monster skill, and there's, what's it? Capture, or... What the hell is that skill called? The one where you basically hit something real good, and then they join you. Train, there we go. Hit him like a train! But yeah, they're both passives, aren't they? Fine, fine, you just don't take any shots, whatever. I'm not targeting anybody, as they get all their dark procs. Alright, well, monster skill's gonna have to be in there then. Alright, you have fun at your meeting. Have yourself a nice one. Hope it's all productive, and hopefully no one gets into an argument and or throws office chairs. And we'll see you soon. Alright, Ice Pandas. Take your shot. Get the one shot that you actually take. Beautiful. Now that I think about it, it's a little bit weird that in every Matsuno game I can think of, if there's been a crossbow, they've gone out of their way to make sure that it had a better animation. Like, compared with everything else. Right, that guy crystallized. Can I get anybody over there? Ah, whatever. We don't need it. Dead. Old CEO went across the table at his brother. Wow. Jeez. Well, I mean, it must have been an interesting meeting anyway. I mean, technically my old boss tried to stab me once, but... Or, like, 5 times. But whatever. After a while, that's just on me for sticking around for so long. Because it turns out crazed alcoholics like to shank people real good when they're in the kitchen. Also turns out they are not terribly coordinated, nor are they very accurate. So that's always nice. Nor are they terribly quick, but my goodness did they get strong. Alright. Oh man, I'm all worried about having to spend my class marks to change classes. So everyone's gonna be chemists except for the ones that can become Y mages. Which is gonna be Mr. Ziggy. Wild aim can cause trouble. Ooh! Priests get shanky knives? Oh, Riri. That's new. Do 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 do. Alright, best fit. You get a stick. Congratulations. Oh, had their watch, thank you, but kiddos are already up, so don't need to worry about that. Alright, let's go ahead and set your guts abilities over here. Cheer up and throw stone, probably a pretty good idea. As well as monster skill. Monster skill. I have no reason to actually go get defend, but whatever. So, friendly monsters within one range acquire new abilities. Okay. So everyone's gonna go learn whatever the hell they can for the time being. Like I said, I'm gonna go for like a sort of TO. Since by the time we get to Dorder, Ramza is the only human character we'll be able to use. The way that I want to do it is, like I said, just go for like a TO Beastmaster kind of setup, wherein he has to use every monster skill. He's gonna have the Runemaster set, except only with the negotiation abilities as his secondary, and then he's gonna probably be a well, squire slash heretic slash mercenary slash whatever the hell he currently is, squire, as his primary. Okay, nice to see that Phoenix Down is free. Don't know why I'm even looking at the passives, because I can't use these. Move, find items, sure. And then go ahead and give me these. Fine. Fine. you can learn? Not really. What about you? You probably already have Throw Stone. Alright, set some basic skills, set that counter skill. Kind of the main difficulty that's going to come from this, naturally, is, well, the fact that we're going to have to use this crappy team to be able to do anything. Now we needed 5, so we got our 5 here-ish. Goodbye, Misty, with your crossbow. Okay, we're apparently kicking out Jet Jaguar's girlfriend. However that works. He's a robot. He has no junk with which to want to make relations. Alright, and we'll go ahead and remove you. No, no, you're not currently providing anything, nor will you be able to. Alright, items. Best. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and save that sucker right there, go through a relatively long cutscene, which we can skip right ahead of. And I love that you can just skip through cutscenes in this. I love it! It's like one of those things that FFT always had an issue with. And you can just go, goodbye, plot! You were interesting the first time, but I no longer care, because there's a challenge to do. Alright. He's reached the highest rank of Heaven Knight. He's gonna go become Sekiro's last boss. Man, if you haven't seen that yet, that was... I know it's probably completely unrelated and probably a weird translation thing. But that moment, when I was watching a Sekiro run, which, if I could afford it, I would have gotten it. But, anyway, so I'm watching the last boss, and, like, he just pops up. He literally just, like, rips himself out of the chest of another guy. And, it's just, like, sword saint. It's like, yes! That's awesome! That's just so awesome. I was like, man, somebody needs to make a Balbane's mod for this. He's just there. Funny part is, it would even work, because he's there, like, doing lightning moves with the sword and everything. It would work. It would work. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be, like, Wrath of the Heavens, not actually, like, heavenly, like the, you know, the Western Catholic version. But whatever. Alright, Mondolio. Let's go rescue a Nazi. Funnily enough, there was an interview recently that Mr. Evan had sent over. Hi there, guy that I'm talking about, who is also the guy that I'm talking about. Or, who is also here. I'm gonna stop being confusing to myself. Anywho. Yeah, let's go alchemists. This is a great idea that can't possibly go wrong. Anyway, so yeah, in one bit of that, he was actually defending Algus, of all people. Because apparently they remade him as some sort of, like, demon boss or whatever else, because they love re-killing Algus. But in FF14, for the whole Return to Evolus thing, apparently they made him as a boss. And, they're like, yeah, no, originally he wasn't, you know, he wasn't like that. He wasn't such a massive a-hole. Instead he was just somebody that got way too stuck in his ideals. It's like, okay, I mean, fair enough, but he's still a massive a-hole. Like, there's really no two ways about that. But he did confirm the ending. Apparently he didn't intend for the ending to be all, you know, kind of mysterious. Apparently that's why in the remake they directly show them coming back. But yeah, no, they're not illusions. They actually do survive. They don't explain how, but I have a theory. Because, okay, you have all the, like, you know how you get that teleportation key in Vagrant Story? So my theory is that they basically found that thing down there and then used it to get out. And then, like, 100 whatever years down the line where Vagrant Story takes place, they just found the same thing. There we go. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. It was there the whole time. Alright, good. Poison, yeah, this poison knife should do real good wonders here. I want to go recruit that thing, but I can't. Can't recruit it yet, so we gotta be all stabby, I guess. You know, all things considered, maybe Alchemist is actually a really good team. So one thing's for sure, we can't really lose. At least not for lack of health. Yeah, one thing that's a little bit annoying here. Oh, by the way, this guy's a knight now. Yeah, he didn't used to be a knight. Yeah, one thing that's a little bit annoying is there's another thing that's kind of a staple of Matsuno games here, which is like I like to call it the 6-tile throw. But basically, most ranged abilities, with exception... Okay, funnily enough, in TO, with the exception of crossbows and bows, in this one, directly crossbows and bows, whatever. Anyway, this throw would normally be possible, but this tile, because it's blocking it, technically blocks that throw. It would have been possible in any other game, but oh well. Doesn't matter too much. Let's go ahead and throw stone over here. That's going to do no damage. Why don't you just accumulate instead? Alright. And shank. I forgot to make him into a chemist. Forgot I can do that. Yeah, that's nice, August. That's nice. Go away. A little bit surprising that nobody's made like an FFT version of that frog in a blender thing, except it's just like Algus in a microwave. Wonder if anybody remembers those. See who here was alive in the 90s? Back when the internet was just a little baby. And most of the memes never really got too far. And somehow miniclip.com had a bunch of really raunchy stuff on there that they never really considered taking down for quite a while. I don't know whether they couldn't or just didn't, now that I think about it. Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff from back then that was just weird. So much of it is still around now is the funny thing. Like, it's weird to go back to find all those things. Like, I was watching Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny the other day. It's like, man, this thing has aged surprisingly well, actually. Like, all things considered. Goodbye. You are already dead. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've got nothing here. This feels drastically easier than it used to be. Now, why does this guy come in as a knight? Is this just to introduce you to knights in general? I mean, it seems weird that he comes in without any equipment, but I guess he is, you know, he is like a highwayman kind of situation. So he probably was just getting whatever he could get his hands on. That could be it. Alright, let me see if you can go poison this thing. Even if it gets a CT save, I expect to be able to heal him. I wanted to get the poison off so we're not repeatedly triggering his stuff. Oh well. Let's throw that out there. So he's already at level 2. Hi there, Kibba. Nice to see ya. How are things? Alright, let's go ahead and have you heal up as well. Actually, I should have restocked on my juice before coming here. Oh well. Just starting my workday. Well, fantastic. Hopefully it's a nice and productive one for you. Alright, what are you gonna do? Just a cat kick? That's fine. Alright, all well and good. But yeah, lots of folks show up to watch on in the middle of their workday. It's kind of funny. It's a very productive country out there. But that's the best time, you know? Again, I can't judge. I do that all the time too. It's just the one of those nice things of being able to have some downtime every now and then. It's like go watch the kids, go write some articles, go watch some streams in the background. Can't argue with that. It's like, especially when the kiddos go to take a nap, it's just I always have like a stream or something going on my phone, just writing an article or something on my computer. It's nice. It feels relaxing. On manager, so as long as I get my work done, no one cares. This is true. This is very true. Yeah, technically self-employed over here, so I know the feeling. Gotta... Oh, as long as it all gets done. Alright, let's have you go for a little bit of a shank here. I think I might just leave him right there, though. He's going to be able to survive a follow-up hit. Algus might be able to get another hit off. They'll prevent him from going terribly far. Alright, let's see. You need healing, so let's move you here, I think. This feels all wrong, having them move to the farthest edge of their movement. I'm going to use one of these nicer ones, I think. Only report to the CEO of the company. Fair enough. Do they ever show up? And like, why are you watching some Game of Thrones in the middle of doing the spreadsheet, sir? Why are you enjoying work, Jenkins? Alright, come on, get that poison off. Ah, crap. Well, at least he didn't get the CT save, so I'm going to leave him right there. He's probably going to attack and retreat. Alright, what do we want to do here? You've got stuff, you've got stuff. Do you have an accumulate? Yeah. Go ahead and accumulate and move right here. Gonna keep them all locked away over there. So 2 units to lock away there, 4. We can get rid of that knight up top. Okay, I wish you'd roll low on that damage, but whatever. Whatever you want to do. Goodbye, Mr. Cat. Man, his movement range is awesome. Sorry about that. Wait a second. Wait a second. Let me, I need to check Deleta's status. Because if I remember, he came in with boots. Did those actually give you +1 movement at this point? Have they always given +1? Yes, they have always given +1 movement. I'm an idiot. I'm thinking of the boot. Okay. FFTA, right? FFTA and FFTA2. You can get battle boots right away, and you cannot imagine my excitement when I first saw that, because the movement ranges in that game are intentionally very small. And like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh man, there's gonna be extra movement off of these. And then, yeah, no, they're just extra defense, and that's it. I think in FFTA2 they give like a skill to the Viking or something, but that's about it. But anyway, so you know, so was all excited about that. And then I remembered going back to FFTA and like, those boots aren't going to give any movement, they're just going to make you sit in place. That's not the case at all. Alright. Tell you what, you go ahead and shankify this guy. Please get that poison off, good. And that poison knife is so good. Alright. This is a little bit of a waste. We're basically wasting like 33 health on that, but that's fine. Want him to be at full health. So that guy's poisoned, we can just leave him be. Like, at this level, poison is basically fatal if it hits, especially because they probably won't use heal. They probably don't even have heal. So yeah, let's just move you... Yeah, I need to move you here, go assist in dealing with this knight. That'll be fine there. I only have 1 heal left. That's on me. I made a mistake. Please roll 15. Why do you keep rolling good damage? Alright. Come on, get that poison off. Beautiful. Alright. Let's move you back. So those guys are just done for. This guy needs to be shanked real good, so he's probably going to possibly finish off this chemist. Start his countdown timer, but we'll have enough attacks to be able to finish him off before the fight ends. Now let's go speed up the shanking of this cat here. Thankfully his bravery rolled really, really low, I guess. Yeah, brave of 40, so yeah. That went awesome. So you can start working on this one. Sweet 10% dodge. Thanks, Algus! Jeez. Don't bother helping with the one I needed you to help with. That doesn't matter. That other chemist will be able to finish him off. It's fine. Or actually, the first chemist will be able to finish him off, so no worries whatsoever. We're doing okay. He remembered he has heal! Unacceptable. What is this AI actually thinking about things nonsense? Right, Iceman's can sit there. Exactly, it's Algus. He's just a terrible person. Like, it doesn't matter whether he's on your team or against you, he's just a terrible person all the time. And, you know, Matsuno never confirmed it, But seriously, look at his outfit. Tell me that's, you know, that he's not supposed to be exactly what he looks like he's supposed to be. Because that dude's looking really, you know, you know what he looks like. All right. Anyway, go ahead and finish off this guy. I really expected him to get that 6% dodge, actually. All right. Let's have you go deal with this one. Go ahead and defend your leader a little bit. There we go. He dropped a box, but what's in the box? What did he put in the box? We don't want to know what he put in the box. So, interesting little note, by the way, in case anybody's interested in getting their PS1 emulation going and all that business. If you're using EPSXE, there's a weird thing with the newest version where they added all kinds of PC overclocking options, but unfortunately, past your first launch, it seems like it will crash 100% of the time on Windows 10, as long as you don't set the overclocking method or the overclocking speed to 1. Not that it defaults to any other speed, it just doesn't have anything selected by default, so it basically will just keep crashing, and yeah, really weirdly specific crap right there. But just in case anyone runs into that issue, just wanted to go ahead and pass that on. Right, I'm gonna have this guy eat a lion's mane. I don't need it, but I want him to get some points. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm the only person that always chose to let Algus die. This mod does it by default. And it's funny because, okay, it's funny because the Algus thing was meant to be a reference to something they do the exact same way in Tactics Ogre, wherein early on they have a Valkyrie that's being essentially about to be executed, and they're like, you know, who the hell's this? Like, the options are we have, you know, what's it? We have more important fights to go fight, or, you know, we just can't let them die. But it was really, it was just like this one where you basically just had a thing of like, will you get a game over if they die? Except it's always like in this one you just get a brave bonus, I think it is, and yeah, I think most of the FFT, yeah, I'm pretty sure most do. You get a slight bravery boost, but as you can see, you get it anyway with the mod. But yeah, because yeah, to be honest, just Algus is an a-hole. No one cares. But yeah, like in TO, like literally the only thing was like, I think like a 2% reputation difference with one of the factions that you run into later on in the game. But anyway, in this one you get a bravery boost if you win and he survives, or a game over if he dies. Yeah, that. I thought you immediately got the bravery boost. I could have sworn you immediately got it. Whatever. If not, you do seem to immediately get it, because I know Ramza here's showing up with 80 brave right now. Because I know he starts off at 70-70, and right now he's 80-70. I think no, I think it's you get a 10 brave boost for the fight, but then you get I think you get like 5 afterwards or something. I don't know why I'm not using cutscene skip right now. Oh well. Fun game until the post game. Have you tried the One Vision mod? Like normally for Mondays and Fridays, I actually do Tactics Ogre One Vision, which is basically it's a rebalance mod for that game. And okay, I need to share this with you right now. There we go. That mod is amazing. It's basically a guy that has spent a few years rebalancing every single part of that game to essentially follow its own lore and the rest of the series as much as possible. So you prefer the PSP edition for the Wheel of Destiny time travel? This is a mod for that version. Like, this isn't the original version or anything like that. Personally, I just prefer the just how streamlined everything is in that one, just in terms of its overall presentation or whatever. But yeah, I've made like a few hundred streams on that one. I made several hundred videos on it. It's amazing. It's really, really good. Actually, if you do !guide, actually I might as well just do that now since I can do it easily with this new setup. Actually have an entire guide for the thing and what's changed and everything, because there's literally thousands of changes. So See, the one ogre game I haven't been able to beat is Ogre Battle. Which one? Do you mean March of the Black Queen or OB64? Because there's several ogre games. Actually, technically, there's 3 Ogre Battle games. March of the Black Queen. Well, the secret of that one is you just got to send a bunch of stuff to the right cities. But how do you lose in the 3rd fight? That's weird. Like it does get difficult relatively quick. Let's see, not the 3rd fight. Well, I mean, yeah, the 3rd stage, 3rd battle. Let's put it that way. All right, can I have you guys go become priest? Yes. All right, lots and lots of priests now. About 10 when you played it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, you. At this point, like, probably if you went back, you'd find it pretty easy. It's not actually that difficult. It's one of those ones that, like, watching speedruns of that thing are just magical. Because there's so many obscure mechanics, it's not even funny. But yeah, by the way, if you played the original, what I would recommend is try the PS1 limited edition version. Because it changes a lot of stuff to be a bit nicer. Like, you get a mid-battle save, you get... you basically have a rebalance of how the cards work, so you can't spam like 50 cards in one turn. You specifically can only use 1 per each of your characters' turns. Wait, but the PlayStation version when it came out? Wait a minute, what? When did Black Queen ever? Oh, that's what you mean. You have both. Okay, good. Yeah, no, I love the PS1 version so much. Funnily enough, in the PSP remake, that's the one that gets referenced. If you look at the statues in the Palace of the Dead, he actually. They actually used the PS1 sprites, which, yeah, when I originally had posted about that, like, last year, because I never really noticed up to that point, and then I started posting on the Reddit there, and like, hey, guys, did anyone notice the statue thing? They're like, oh, man, you're an idiot. Look, here's a bunch of screenshots from the SNES version that are clearly not the same thing. Like, the PS1 version had different sprites, too. I didn't know this. Anyway. Alright, let's go to Igros. Actually, let's not go to Igros, because we can get ourselves a kitty cat. So I need a battle here, since this is kind of the setup point. So, alright. Okay, we got knives on everyone. In fact, I probably want you with a knife as well. I don't suppose I can buy some poison knives, can I? At some point I need to finish collecting all the characters in the PSP game. If you're gonna revisit the PSP game... Oh, ran a D&D campaign based off Tactics Ogre. Dude, I was asking if somebody would do that, like, months ago. If you have that laying around, that'd be an interesting thing to do a community thing for sometime. Anywho. Okay, just blind knives. Okay, we can, let's go ahead and save it. Let's go run a Mandalia battle. Hopefully we don't run into anything too terrifying. Because this mod does have some scary stuff. I never wrote the mod down? Alright, well, either way, it's an interesting setting for it. I had a rough outline of plot points. Yeah, I would have loved to see, like, just rando farmers trying to make it through, like, I don't know, chapters 2 to 3 of Lucked. Like, sir, can we get a little bit of help? We got freaking, like, zombie dragons crawling over my crops. Like, don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, can somebody send an exorcist and maybe a couple knights or something? They just replay through the game so I had it fresh. Yeah, so if you really want like the super immersive version, seriously, go check out that One Vision mod. It's really easy to install. It'll run on anything. I personally test that it runs on PSP, Vita, phone emulation, and PC. I go and run the gamut on all those things every time a new patch comes out. I'm not the guy that made it. I'm just a huge fan. But yeah, it's a fantastic mod. It's basically an immersion slash mild difficulty mod. Like it bills itself as a immersion mod. But basically, what it does, it rebalances everything to make more sense. It gets rid of some of the like little background stuff. Like for example, you know how TKs were previously kind of worthless unless you built them up a very specific way. But then if you screwed it up the first time, then you didn't have the levels anymore to redo them. So like instead of that, the class is just good. Like, it's just good out the box. It has new skills assigned to it. See, PSP and Vita aren't running custom firmware? Dude, you gotta mod that Vita. There's so much good stuff. Funnily enough, with the Vita, if you've ever run into jacked up thumbsticks, it turns out you can actually fix that with custom firmware too. I found that out just recently. Because I've been having issues, like I think I've replaced the thumbsticks on mine maybe 3 or 4 times. And I'm not even doing anything extreme with them, I just have the slim version with the really sucky thumbsticks. Oh, just need to run an emulator? Well, yeah, that works too. Emulation works just fine. Personally, I just love running mine on a Vita, because man, it looks so pretty on it. I don't know what it is exactly that it does, but it looks so pretty. Alright, what do I want to do here? I think we want to deal with Squire Boy first. Now, we'll dedicate 1 unit to holding off that left side. Oh, the OLED screen? Okay. Maybe. I'm assuming you have the original then? Because I think OLED was in the original, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. I don't know. Whatever it is, it just looks real pretty on the Vita. New screen on the PSP. Yeah, might as well just do it for the Vita, because the Vita literally just emulates a PSP. I mean, I have a PSP with a pretty jacked up screen too. Mob blindness. Yes. That was the AC Vita. I think that's the original. Yeah, those ones definitely had better thumbsticks. That's the weird part. I don't know if it's something that they use to read the thumbsticks, or I don't freaking know what. Because yeah, I have do I have it here somewhere? No, I don't. I have it elsewhere. Alright. I will say, by the way, if we have to sacrifice some of these characters in order to make it through this fight, I'm okay with that. I know I forgot to pick up more healing items for them, but if the fight's winnable, just sacrificing some of them, that's fine. Because from here on out, I literally just need like 1 fight as an Oracle, and that's then we should be where we need to be. Alright. Alright, we're getting real close to level 2 here. There we go, shank real good. I probably should have picked up Cure on all of these guys. I don't know why I didn't. But that's on me. That's my mistake. So, 2001 model of PSP had a nicer looking screen, but it's prone to dead pixels. Looks at my screen is that there's it's moisture trapped, but the pattern caused by dead. Weird. Huh? Didn't know about that. Yeah, the issue I've had with mine is mostly just those thumbsticks. The FF1 Challenge Run squad, all priests. Well, right now, it's the massive grinding squad, because it's just a bunch of dudes in robes with knives, so we're basically, the friggin' Sept from Game of Thrones. Just like, oh, we're all here with our shanky knives and clubs and everything. Gotta make everyone feel all holy. Alright. I don't think I have anyone with any recovery abilities at all. Realistically, I should just restart this right now. Because I screwed that up. See, PSP 2000 also had an AV out for the PSP, so you could play it on your TV. Yeah, it does. Actually, I had one of those a while ago. One of the ones that used the component cables. Which it's weird because the resolution that it came out of, like, it always gave you this little box. So, like, if we're saying like this whole area is your screen, you'd get like this big of a box. It's weird. Although, interestingly enough, you could blow it up on a projector and it would look just fine. But, anyway. Alright. Can you shank this guy real good, please? Thank you. Yeah, it letterboxes something fierce. Alright, keep on shanking. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a small chance that we make it out of this, but it's possible. I mean, currently speaking, I'm looking at the numbers here. I'm expecting if I can lose 2, cannibalize at least 2 over the course of this fight, then we should have the numbers to make it through anyway. That would make going back as Oracles a lot more difficult, but oh well. Hi there, Mr. Cerabow. Currently, I am running a fight in which I'm probably about to sacrifice a bunch of priests. Oh, you suck! They have not rolled low damage once on those dang things. So most of the games are not widescreen compatible, so they're 4x3. Yeah, it definitely was not a good investment of $50 to get those cables. I'm gonna put it that way. It's like I remember when I first got them. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna go play this on my TV and get all my Armored Core remakes and everything else all blown up on this massive screen. It's gonna be great. It's like the cord barely reaches around the TV. The PSP itself, like, you know, it's just awkward and at an angle, and a little tiny box that's like maybe twice as big as the original PSP thing comes up. Because they're like, oh, that's a real disappointment. I mean, I'm sure with a different setup it would have worked fine, but it barely reached around the side of my TV. Remember, crystals don't give you JP, just unlock skills, so no faster leveling. Oh no, I don't mean for that. I mean, I was about to go do that for the purposes of I completely forgot to pick up recovery items. Looks and sounds great. I mean, it does look good. I will say the best experience I've had with that is if you get a projector and like a white wall, and then you just like blow it up to the point where the letterboxing doesn't matter, because it actually does look really good blown up to the size of an entire room, surprisingly. Can you use the zoom feature? This is true. This is very true. Yeah, I don't have them anymore, though. Why did I not get sure up on anybody? Yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably time to reset, and yeah, I'm gonna reset real quick. So I want to go actually do this properly. There we go. Come on, come back. Thank you. Got to do something. He never forgets to pick up his people after job. I know, right? I definitely don't scour the entire countryside for like a year trying to figure out where I left my A-team. That never happens. Reason for letterbox was to maintain the screen ratio so you don't end up with tall, fat characters. Well, maybe I want tall, fat characters. Maybe that's the new hotness. I don't know. Maybe that's how it is. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to put it. I think after we after we unlock the Rune Seeker here, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of a pause to go hand out some more snacks. Everything seems calm over there, but you know, something worth considering. Probably could do with a little bit more coffee as well. All right, let's go to the shop. Let's go buy a ton of stuff, namely, healing items, like all of them. So yeah, 30 will do the job just fine. Have you had a chance to look at Fell Seal yet? I have not had a chance to buy it yet, no. Currently, currently I've not had a chance to do that. Account is currently sitting at a nice, unfortunate, like, negative $400 until I can get more payments in, so... it's gonna be a minute before I can do that. Combines, I know I need to. Okay, I've heard very mixed reviews of that one too. Like, I've heard some people say it's a mix of FFT and Tactics Ogre, and I've heard other people say it's like it somehow misses both. But I was really interested to look at it, but yeah, never had a chance to yet. All right, let's give some regen. I think for you, it's about 95% right. All right. Well, again, I'm planning to as soon as I get everything going. Like this last month. Was about, I'd say about a good 80% of the way to where I wanted to be financially. I had to take a few hits in order to make it by through the last month. Feel comfortable saying that as a journalist? Well, okay then, fellow journalists. I'm not a journalist, I'm a hobbyist. I'm a hobbyist who happens to write stuff and gets paid for it occasionally. It's not journalism. Anyway. But yeah. I would absolutely love to check it out, but like I said, I literally do not have the $20 to get it right now. So as soon as I'm able to do so, I will. But it looked pretty awesome. The only shortcoming I see is that are likely due to budgetary reasons. I'm assuming it's because of the like relatively static style and all that. Like I know that the images, or rather the the flat pictures and whatever else that they went with, or the art style that they went with, it definitely doesn't convey what it's doing very well as far as pictures go. Like in the videos, you can see there's a lot more going on, but it's definitely one of those ones that, unlike TO and FFT, like it doesn't have as much like pop, immediate pop, as it were. They hand painted the character stage and special effects. Gotcha. Alright, let's have everyone accumulate, I think. There's a product that you can't rotate the map. Well, I mean, that's fine. FFTA2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and you can't rotate the map in that one. I mean, technically speaking, you can't rotate the map in Tactics Ogre either, but, you just can kind of make it go upwards. Alright, now we're going to actually do that thing where you set up properly. See, honestly, you don't even notice that it's 2D pictures until you need to rotate the map. Fair enough. I mean, the way that they got over that in TO was just they basically flipped the map, but then they had the icons still as they were. See, the problem is that the characters can end up behind objects, you can't see them. Yeah. SNES TO had that problem. It happens. It happens. FFT's 2D pictures on a 3D map. Can believe that. They do a very very nice illusion of 3D though. Actually, I think TO PSP Remake is the same way. I'm not certain though. Shrink. Let's see. Only you had a problem with one stage so far. I mean, here's the thing. No matter how bad any strategy game messes it up, it'll never be as bad as what happened to, like, Jack Alliance back in action. That's the thing. The bar... That's kind of just where I like to see the bar on that one. It's like no one will ever make a reference or anything else that is as off the mark as that game was. As what? Oh, Jagged Alliance back in action. Is the music a little bit too loud? Actually, here, let me turn that down a little bit. The bars are saying it's a little bit too loud. But yeah, so it was a Jagged Alliance 2, a remake. It's not exactly in the same vein of Tactics Ogre or whatever else. But okay, the whole point of Jagged Alliance was that it's like you basically have all these characters with permadeath. They all have different relationships with each other and whatever else. But basically, like, some of them will not be happy with certain situations, some will refuse to work with other people, some will do better under certain circumstances, that kind of thing. So the idea is that you have this, Jagged Alliance, as it were, where they just randomly will stop in the middle of a fight, like, okay, I will not take that shot unless you increase my paycheck. Like, I'm in danger, you're not paying me enough, or that kind of thing. Just like, it's all kinds of cool stuff, so it's like this thing where you're trying to manage your economy and all these different characters at the same time. It was really cool, and it had this nice wacky atmosphere to it. But then they made a remake, and then they completely missed everything about the remake. See, like in the original, there were a lot of line of sight issues because it's all in a jungle and it's supposed to be all tense and everything. So a lot of times you had to play really carefully to make sure you aren't losing characters to sudden ambushes or whatever else. And they were constantly trying to ambush you, and you were constantly trying to take these areas over a map, because it was basically like a free-form campaign to take over an entire island. So imagine, like, FFT or TO or whatever else, but you can go anywhere at any time, and just like each of these different maps, you'll have different groups coming in and out and trying to take over all those different places, so it was really cool. Alright, so you really wanted to get Maple Story Tactics at some point? That exists? Like, I thought Maple Story died. It's been ages since I've heard that. The idea of turning an MMO into an FFT style game sounds odd to me. But that's TOPSP right there. You got all your extra grind in your post game. Until One Vision came along and made it like legendarily amazing. Alright. Let's go for a cure right here. A little bit of recovery. Let's have you go try to blind this line right here. Great. Yeah, I have no idea. If there was any online game that would have made an amazing strategy game that I could think of, it would be RuneScape. Because, like, man, that game had a lot of mechanics that were basically like a strategy game with one character. Anyway, so what I was getting at, though, So with Jagged 2, so they made that remake, and they're like right off the bat, everything went completely wrong. Like they had previously, it was the same thing where it was like I think it was a 2D background with 3D models and stuff like that. But so right off the bat, they're like, okay, it needs to be fully 3D and everything else. And instead of you pause, you tell the character like go here, shoot here. They're like, okay, we need this complicated system where we layer up commands and do everything in real time. Because before it was like a turn unit type of system, kind of like your XComs and whatever else. And so, like, you just have this real time system where you're like, okay, you walk here and you walk here and you do this. But the controls were so jacked up that you usually ended up telling people to go. You were telling the wrong people to go to the wrong places and whatever else. So it was constantly confusing. Like all the camera controls and everything else were backwards for some reason, and there was no way to change it. Each of them had stats that determined how quickly they responded to each different type of command for some reason. So you literally had like a sniper that's like, hold on, let me wait like 5 seconds before firing because my brain hasn't processed your command yet. It's like you've been aiming at it for like 10 minutes. Just go. It's like, no, hang on, I gotta wait for my communication stats to go through. Like, it was really, really weird. I don't know why they did it that way. It's just nothing about it made sense. Alright, Poison would have finished him, but oh well. But yeah, on top of that, they removed Fog of War from the original version. So, kind of throws all of the, tense strategy thing out the window entirely. Because, like, it goes from, I don't know where anything is, and we gotta hold up this little building to be safe, to, hey, I inexplicably have, like, magical knowledge of where everybody is at all times. Let's see, the game I was talking about was Ragnarok. They turned it into a turn-based strategy RPG. Is it any good, or is it all grindy? Now that I think about it, come to think of it, I think my cousin played that. Is it a phone game? I don't know. Anyway, point being, if you like Jagged 2 and for some reason missed Back in Action and you're thinking, oh man, it had a remake, how nifty? Yeah, no. Never, ever, ever. Just don't. Spare yourself the punishment. It's really sucky. It's unbelievably sucky. Alright, this is going real bad because that one guy got ganged up on. Alright, whatever. We might still be able to make this work. Unfortunately, my main source of damage is currently over there. Alright, it was on the PSP? Alright, I'll have to note down to check that out. I have a pretty long list of stuff to go check out at this point. Like a bunch of stuff that Evan sent me, a bunch of stuff that, I can't remember what it's called right now. Still gotta do Fell Seal at some point, still gotta I did promise a run of Battle Brothers at some point. So, either way. See, it looks okay graphically. Yeah, another one that's, that I've seen come up over and over again, I think it was like Primal Doctrine or something like that, that people were saying was really good, but again, no real idea of what the story is there. Like, I know that they were making a remake of that one as well, but they, Natural Doctrine, there we go. Don't do it yet. I've heard people say it was really grindy. The PS4, it fell for the hype. Yeah, I saw it was on sale for like $5, and for some reason, actually no. What scared me off was like I think it was like 3 or 4 gig download size. It was like one of those things where this random strategy game with a ton of grinding is apparently taking as much space as XCOM. It's like, as bad as XCOM Vita runs, I will still take XCOM, please. I don't really feel like upgrading my chips in order to make that happen. Because I just have an 8 gig chip, and like 90% of it is different strategy games. Like, I think right now I have, let's see, I have Darkest Dungeon, XCOM EU, Civ Revolutions 2, which... man, that game's got so many problems, but I still kind of like it. I have a soft spot for its utter nonsense, dude. What else? We've got Original Tactics Ogre, yeah, so SNES Tactics Ogre, PS1 Tactics Ogre, PSP Tactics Ogre, and One Vision. OB64, March of the Black Queen, Night of Lotus, the FFT Cerabow mod, original FFT, and then like a bunch of randoms. Like I think I have most of the Armored Core games on there. You can get a micro SD and shave it down so it fits. The setup for that's a little bit annoying. That's the only reason I haven't done that. Yeah, you got the crit, but not the poison. You know, by the way, Mr. Cerabow, there's one feature that I really liked out of One Vision that I wonder if it's possible to include here at all. Which was if they get a crit, that the secondary effect is guaranteed. Right, let's move over here and make sure that he doesn't eat our friend. I mean, there's no two ways. There are two ways about it. I can just revive him. Why am I not reviving him? See, there was someone in an RPG collectors group when I did Facebook. Yeah, it's worth the effort, I'm sure. But at this point, like considering that I would only fit like maybe 1 or 2 more games on there realistically, I just don't really want to. Because I don't want to mess with it any further. They just keep rolling high on those kicks. Has anything changed as far as their cat kick? Like where they seem to roll really high lately? Alright, here's what we need to do. We need some healing done. Alright, let's drop this right here. Let's have you go ahead and... Is he at full health? Yeah. I'm going to drop one of these. You're going to go right there. You're going to go over here and wish. Right. Kick is unchanged. They rolled 6 and 10 earlier. Oh, I missed that. I think crit and guaranteed proc would be potentially disastrous, like Muppets getting crush punched 3 times in a row. I don't know. It works pretty well in TO. Although it's funny because for a while there was this really abusable thing in One Vision. So for cursed weapons, he was trying to figure out how to make them special for a while because he took away their old Snapdragon effect. So instead of trying to build up a character with optimal base stats over the course of 20 hours or whatever, instead the way when you get a cursed weapon, it's just a cursed weapon. But actually, yeah, you're right. Crush Punch would kill it. Anyway. All the sword skills have 100% status chance? Really? Dang. Alright. Anywho. So what I was getting at here is... let's go ahead and shank this thing real good. Actually, no. You just accumulate real quick. Because I want you doing a little bit more damage. I just want to take... I want to let Ramza take a little bit of a shank at that thing. See if he can just finish it off with one attack. So we don't have to worry about CT save. That. Anyway. Oh yeah, so for cursed weapons, the effect currently on that one is that they hit once for lower damage than an equivalent weapon of the type, but then they have a secondary attack that's for a percentage of their health. So it's this like unique percentage damage mechanic thing, and it's pretty neat. They also have a use effect to essentially just create like one of the big old orb explosions, since orbs are no longer usable. But point being, they what do I want to do? You're just gonna sit there for a moment. He was trying to think for a little while where they would have like a 5% chance to insta-kill instead, which was pretty neat, but that's when it was figured out that, oh yeah, wait a minute. Mighty Strike, plus any other ability that gives you a 100% chance to hit, will also give you a 100% chance to proc. So this basically meant that when he gave Necromancers the ability to use, it was an ability called Araman, which later got changed into a finisher. It basically meant that you could give them a crossbow, and they could just run up and insta-kill anything, which was pretty hilarious because it turns out it worked on bosses too. So yeah, that was pretty abusable. But if you've ever wondered why there's a picture of a Necromancer with like the NCR sniper with the anti-material rifle over his shoulder, that's why. That was an interesting time. Hopefully that works fast enough. There we go. Let's see, it's how the status is set up, which adds the random variance. Interesting. Alright, this guy's not going to do anything, we're just going to go ahead and shank him real good. Alright. I think we have this fight in the bag. Trying to remember who has smite. I think it's the lady style over there that has smite. Seems like a reasonable assumption. Right. Go shank this one. Less enemies and better setup equals higher chance of victory. What? How does that even work? Clearly it should have been less likely, because then there's less stuff to attack. Yeah, what's funny is that I went and I bought all those healing items, and then I never used a single one of them. Also, I forgot that you can't back it up turns. Ah, thanks, brain. Thanks, brain. That'd be funny if quit just, like, kicked you back to the front menu. You've been indecisive in a turn. Goodbye. Also, I forgot to answer to Kiba's be right back there. Sorry for that. Now, let's have you run around the side. That way, he's in perfect range to get punched. It's like I was planning it. Yeah, turn punch is really devastating in this mod. Alright, drop the box, good for you. Shank this thing real good. Wonder how high his bravery is, because he's just proc that every single time. 56. Yet he's still gotten it every dang time. Now, Mr. Cerabow, what you were saying earlier, as far as always going for the ones with high brave, if I go ahead and do a slightly alternate version of just convincing them that their bravery is high enough, wouldn't that work just fine, or is that permanent brave addition gone now? Alright. Put you there. We're almost done here. You can't change Brave or Faith. So the negotiation skills don't work for that anymore? Because I remember before it's like you kept a third of whatever they got during the fight. Or something like that. That move is a bit OP. Bonk. There, you've got throw rock. I'm gonna put you right here so that you can a little bit of throw rock damage, get that extra couple points off him. Love how that throwing rock does as much damage as a knife stab. So correct mediator did that, and Ramza, but rune seekers can only lower brave now. Okay. Understood. I like that. I actually like that. I always like when their stats are locked in. That was one of those things that I liked about OV a good bit. Because, like, your base stats don't really change in that one very much. Like, you can get, like, I think, 0.2%, or 0.2 of a point, if you end up collecting a card, or if you end up feeding them fancy food or whatever else, but then those are just, like, they're there if you really want to go out of your way to do it, but it's a very, very discouraged thing. Shrink. Alright, everybody should be able to be an Oracle now. I would assume, anyway. I mean, they have to have gained at least a couple class levels out of that, right? Probably should have checked before ending the fight. Yeah, sounds like it's time to go hand out some snacks. Change jib. No, I did it wrong! Okay. Okay, it's time for another rando fight after this then. Yeah, he's only level 2 priest. So close! Okay. Early game base JP gain is only 10, spillover would be 2. Oh. Alright, well, we'll run another random fight after this. So I'm gonna go hand out some snacks, we'll go get all that done. Do you have smite? You have smite. Let's give you cure 2. Icy Panda, let's give you smite, I believe. Smite and cure. You're gonna get raise. Ooh, re-raise, perfect. Man, that's cheap. Alright, you get raise and cure, I think. You want snacks? Well, I mean, I like fruit snacks, Cheerios, and veggie straws. Let's go get you a little bowl and sit you down and go play with your toys. 200 JP is cheap. Yeah, dude. I just got that in one fight. Seems cheap to me. Alright, and then I guess protect. Because I don't think we'll run into the roving bands of Mega Wizards yet. Alright, let's go ahead and save you. There we go. And I will be right back. So be back in like 2, 3, 5, something, however many minutes. Okay, see you soon. Hi again, everybody. Sounds like an interesting story about Zoids going on over there. Actually, speaking of games that don't get covered very much, you guys ever heard of / played Ring of Red? Yeah, I've mentioned that a few times, but it's interesting. It's interesting. It's like how do I even put it? It's kind of like an interesting mix of like a sort of Valkyria Chronicles-esque aesthetic with a sort of I want to say kind of like an ogre battle kind of thing, where you're basically sending in squads rather than individual units. Wherein like each particular squad's set up. Well, it's like a combination of different squads, but basically the idea is you have like a mech and then 2 support infantry teams, and then it's like this whole thing where you decide what ranges everybody's at. You got like maybe 30 seconds to fight each other. We have like this turn-based map thing, and then you move your units, then they attack and they counterattack. But yeah, if you've never picked it up, it's actually available on PSN, by the way, for like $20. And thank you there, Kiba. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's an interesting game. It's a very interesting game. I was watching a run a while ago that I unfortunately he still hasn't finished it yet. But yeah, it's a very interesting game. They put probably a lot more effort than they needed to into the actual writing for the thing. But either way, very interesting game. Would recommend giving it a look. One of those ones that I probably would cover if I had a capture card for it. Actually, no. I wouldn't, because I don't have a PS3 anymore. So I guess capture carding a thing on a PS3 would be a little bit difficult when I don't have one anymore. I guess I could always emulate it. I don't know how well it emulates. Probably not very well at all, considering almost anything with mechs inexplicably just didn't want to emulate whatsoever. But oh well. But yeah, it's like an alternate universe World War II kind of situation, where everybody's got steampunk mechs. Ever tried Namco x Capcom? That's a fighting game, isn't it? In which case, probably not. The most fighting game I've ever done is probably when my brother and I used to play Mortal Kombat all the time, and when there we go. And Smash. Freaking love Smash. Yeah, never tried it. Actually didn't know that was a strategy game. That is interesting. Wait, do you have re-raise as well? No, you just have regular raise. Let's go accumulate on you. And just wait. I know it's only 2 extra damage because they've got pretty much no damage to speak of. But that's fine. As long as they can accumulate a little bit. Re-raise on you, because nobody even attacked Ramza last time. Give him a little bit of regen. So you turn-based strategy game where you move the characters, but then changes the perspective to that of a fighting game where when you attack. It doesn't do a real round of fighting though. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I'd be interested in taking a look at that as well. I mean, yeah, currently the 2 that I'm most looking forward to trying out, or at least trying out seriously, was Fell Seal. So definitely looking forward to doing that one, and then Battle Brothers, which I've seen a bit of and tried a bit of, but yeah, I haven't done like a full run or anything like that. It's got a lot of interesting mechanics, and I kind of want to do that one blind. Let's see, City Group has a certain amount of energy that you can use during that round of combat, and then use it to trigger things. Interesting. So kind of like a Valkyria Chronicles then. So you basically just have like a certain amount of points that you can use across everyone. Alright, so we should do this, then hopefully all that carryover of points will give us only 1 needed fight in order to max out the Oracle, or at least get it up to 3, because realistically we only need a few points here. Like, I would really, really love a retreat function in this game, which, again, TO, PSP ended up putting in later. But just because I'd really love to be able to, like, run into a fight, get those last couple points, and then just leave. But they make you stick by and make sure that the fight goes all the way to the end. Those mean people. Alright, go ahead and accumulate a little bit. Alright, cheer up. You missed your cheer up, didn't you? Alright. Sequel would also throw Sega and Bandai into the mix. Ooh! Can you have Solaire? Solaire's a Bandai character now, right? Just have, like, Solaire... Now have Wesker and Solaire fighting it out. I'd love that. It's like the cast of Dark Souls versus the cast of Resident Evil. Which, to be fair, actually already kind of sort of... I kind of sort of remade that in Tactics Ogre once. I love those kinds of things. See, the original game never left Japan, but the sequels have, and I think there's a fan translation for the original game. There usually is. Actually, the one exception I've ever seen to there not being a fan translation is one of the Ogre Battle games, like Prince of Zenobia, because friggin' nobody's ever heard of it, and I don't think anyone ever mods it, like Game Gear or whatever the crap it came out on. I don't know why they even made that game, because, yeah, no one's heard of it, no one's played it. It's just kind of there. It's weird. It's definitely the odd duck of the series. It's like, it looks interesting enough, they just, you know, didn't really do much with it. Alright, let's probably move you here. I think this guy's got Smite. Yeah, he does. Let's go ahead and smite this thing real good. Really need to see if there's translation for some of the Super Robot Wars. I know that there's at least 3 that have it. Over on the Strategy RPG Discord, they're usually talking about different kinds of fan translations for them. So there's a good amount of that stuff out there. At least a good, decent number. Let's see. Have a Neo Geo Pocket Color and could get a flashcard for it. True. I mean, it's not emulating Prince of Zenobia. That's the problem. It's the fact that, like, there's no translation for it. Yeah, unfortunately, I forgot to link the Discord. I'm sorry, Evan. I did a terrible. I am bad at advertising. Confirmed. Let's see, Wonder Swan needs a good flashcard. God, what the hell is the Wonder Swan again? I don't even remember. It's been such a long time since I heard of that one, even. Say it's okay since I'm working, can't get in Discord. Yeah, if you ever look up the Tactics Ogre Discord, or the Tactics Ogre Reddit, all of the links to all of it are in there. It's all just one nice big happy community. So at this point, the Strategy RPG Reddit is like, Reddit and Discord are joining up. Let's see, they've got Valkyria, they've got Super Robot Wars, I think. They've got, they've joined up with Fire Emblem. There's Tactics Ogre, which technically I'm kind of sort of the head moderator of. What else? Just basically any strategy thing you can think of, odds are they've either acquired it or become teamed up with it. So there's a lot of stuff there. But yeah, all those things are linked together. Pan really knows what he's doing. Dude's all professional and crap. Alright. Let's smite this thing out of existence, please. Let's see. Yunpei Yokai developed the Wonder Swan for Bandai. It's an odd handheld. I have 2 out of 3 models of the Wonder Swan. I'm trying to remember. What the hell does it look like? Why do I not remember it? I remember reading about it, and I remember thinking how to emulate it, but I can't... Sorry. Don't know why I can't remember it. Maybe that's the wonder part. So it came with the game, console, cell phone, good luck charm, the special guide and art book. Dang. I know they go above and beyond over there, but wow. Like, I remember watching this thing where a bunch of people had gone over to Japan to go, you know, to go see one of those fancy game stores over there. I think it was something, even something called Potato, weirdly enough. It's like something Potato. Which, by the way, I specifically knew that because I got asked whether the username's at all relevant to that. No. It's a totally different thing. Stop with your spinfists! Oh my god! Stop spinfisting, everybody! Yeah, early game spinfist is just brutal. Oh my god, piss off with that! Let me just punch everything with my massive AoE. Alright, that's fine. We're still doing okay. See, about 90% of the games that come from here were in Japanese, but it's RPG lovers that... RPG lovers' dream console. I thought that would be this thing right here. Nice little Happy Vita. I love this thing. But yeah. I wish the Vita had gotten a little bit more, like, just more support and more love, because it's such a nice thing. Like, it's got so much potential, and it never lived up to it. So right now, it's like a massive retro dump for all intents and purposes, which is alright. If I can just get Darkness off, I might be able to at least disable their Spin Fist a little bit. You've got Raise, no, you've got Smite. We should still be okay here. Yeah. See, GBA versions of Final Fantasy, FF2 were both made for the WonderSwan. Were they later ported? I think they were ported. Alright, let's go finish off this guy, have one less Spin Fister to worry about. Yeah, then they were ported to the GBA. That might explain why there were so many really good titles on the GBA. Stop doing that! It's such a quick move, too. You just keep redoing it over and over. Alright, come on, really now. Can I get somebody back up before you Spin Fist everybody to death again? Jeez. Alright. Most of the ports for the GBA started out as ports for the WonderSwan. Yeah, makes sense. Alright, 4 Spin Fists later, can I move, please? Thank you. Jesus. Yeah, this is not winnable anymore. It's like, I can maybe take out this guy. I don't have any raises left anymore, because the one guy I needed... Well, I guess... No, this is the guy with raise, so yeah, no. So much for that plan. There is one possibility here. Like, if you get this guy, and then we maybe crit him, and then I think we have one more action that we can do after that. Alright, let's see, 18 and 48. Yeah, we'd have to... Yeah, no, it's not winnable. Let's go ahead and, do I want to try for it anyway? Whatever, let's try for it anyway. Let's continue on. On the off chance that this somehow works. Because he can do a Cure too. Which might get both of these guys back up. Which might leave one priest dead, but it should revive the rest. So you really want to get the card, but it's expensive. There's also a programmable robot that came out for the WonderSwan. I mean, it seems like just emulating it on other stuff would do the trick, no? Right. If he crits that, maybe. Don't have the MP for that. So yeah, he'd have to crit this. Okay, Darkness. If he does a Spin Fist, misses, gets counter-rocked, then that could do it. Or we could just avoid that damage altogether, finish him now. Okay, and then if we all just go turbo shanking on that last goblin, then it should be doable. It depends entirely on if he gets... Okay, come on. No counters. That's not good. I need 2 stabs from everybody. Come on, give me crits. I need crits right now. Yeah, I'm sure it's not winnable. He's probably going to go for that crystal right there anyway. to get a shank. I have to go block his way, which is no longer possible now. That's annoying. He got a frickin' crit. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, he would have. Any one of them would have needed to get one more turn. It would have been possible. Oh well. Let's go ahead and reset that. There we go. Let's move that around a little bit. See, the Witch's card works as a flash card, but there aren't any good ones you can buy since the console never sold out in Japan. Isn't really well known. There's no market for it. Yeah. Same thing with the Neo Geo over here. There's a lot of weird consoles. But most of the time, you can just emulate them. Like right now, we just use RetroArch for everything. Console doesn't exist. Console doesn't have much of a market. Just RetroArch it. It's alright. Does the job. I mean, there's only one console that I've ever seen that I haven't been able to successfully emulate on a Vita. At least not fully. And that's the N64. Specifically, I want to get Ogre Battle 64 working on it. Other stuff seems to work okay, like Smash works okay, just because that's always one of those big priority ones that people do. But, unfortunately, yeah, there's just a lot that doesn't work there. Like, you can, for example, on a Vita, you can get that working. However, it does come with the kind of big, like, what-if thing. Or not what-if. Just comes with the big if that everything's all weird shadow people. Like, it's just weird shadows, and then it randomly crashes for no reason. Alright, you know what? I think we're going to speed this up a little bit. Let's go make some wizards. Alright, you're going to be Bolt 2. You're going to get Bolt 2 as well. Just Boltify everyone. Alright, Chain Lightning, beautiful. Actually, wait, that takes too much. Never mind. I mean, each of them can only attack twice, but that should be more than enough. What about you? You get Bolt 2 as well. Just because I really don't want to do these fights forever. So yeah, that gives everybody 2 attacks. That should be fine. See, handheld was designed to be displayed horizontally and vertically with controls on both sides. So some games are played in a horizontal position and some in a vertical position. Weird. Man, didn't expect that one. I mean, I guess it does make sense because a lot of the arcadey type of stuff would have that. Like probably a lot of shmups and stuff like that for the vertical ones, yeah. Actually, wait a minute. I think there was even an announcement on WonderSwan emulation a while ago. As far as the Vita goes. Alright, and also this is bugging me, so let's go fix this real quick. Let's move this head slightly to the left, I think. There we go. There we go, that looks better. Slightly. It's only a little bit better, but it's better. Who knows, by the end of this this first part, we might actually get a monster character. This monster run might actually start going at some point. It's also just that funny moment when you pull out a WonderSwan and people have that puzzled look on their face. It's like, what is this, one of those fake Chinese PSPs? Is it a pop station? Also, apparently lawn mowing going on about 2 feet that way. Alright, so we got them outnumbered, we got them outdone. Soldier handhelds. Oh man, that was such a hilarious immediate crash and burn. Loved it. Let's move that right there. That looks good, right? Looks slightly better, I guess. So you just need to mow my lawn before it rains. It's really bad. Yeah, you don't want to let that grow. So when you get those glorious moments of you try to run the lawnmower and the thing dies, and then you're not mowing anything. All right, so we go in with the lightning airstrikes here, and then we'll go in with knives. Yeah, you know what? 2 attacks are going to work out just fine, especially when they so beautifully line themselves up here. Like, seriously, how does it get better than that? Still can't wait to see the court battles from that. Yeah, it's coming eventually. But seriously, it's just funny. He spends like a week going on Twitter. Oh man, nobody knows this business better than I do. I'm the greatest at everything forever. 5 seconds later, oh wait, they forced me to pay all the money. I mean, to be fair, he still made a profit, but still. Like, I mean, I'm sure if he got it to keep at least 5% of it all, it still wound up being worth it. Because I doubt there really was much reputation to ruin. I mean, the guy's been relevant for like a couple decades or something, so... Alright, so keeping in mind vanilla FFT has several broken monsters, etc., and taking into account I've rebalanced a lot, having Ramza doing anything and 4 monsters seems challenging enough. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. We'll get there. We'll make it. Yeah, so we got 2 wounded there that are just gonna run off. We got 2 with their turn punches. Yeah, right now what I'm thinking... By the way, do goblins count for the monster run? Because in that case I'm thinking, like, turn punch beatdown squad. Because that's clearly effective. Yeah, and I'm going to leave them with just bolt 2s. This seems to do the job great. I have to see what Mr. Vale named them, actually. Alright, that's almost dead. That will be dead. And there we go. And then you can just wait, because everybody's toast. Oh, crap! Well, I'm glad I had her wait. Alright, I'm glad that finally rolled low damage, but, oh well. It's fine. It's basically done anyway. I thought they were going to get the same thing as last time. See, Soldier Boy became oddly relevant again due to the handhelds and Ariana Grande using some of his quote-unquote music without permission. Yeah. Actually, there's been a lot of that lately. There's like people using using stuff that they probably shouldn't have. Maybe it's just some new thing going around the industry or something. It's like, we realize people pay attention when you do this. Quick, everybody plagiarize each other. There we go. Didn't know he was relevant again. Yeah, no, it was just the handheld as far as I'm aware. Oh, the songwriter never told her. Yeah, I'm sure that has no problems whatsoever. You know, I never actually checked if we had the JP. So even he ended up getting a new hit song from the Scandal. It always bothers me when somebody does something like that. It's like, here's something that clearly breaks all of the friggin' rules, but they're, you know, there's no punishment for them anyway. Meanwhile, somebody else, you know, friggin' parks their car wrong and suddenly their entire life is over. Ugh. You know, case in point, current state of politics. Alright, I guess we're just gonna repeatedly do a bunch of fights then, because this is way easier. Maybe I'll just have the 4 go and do their lightning thing everywhere and do the actual fight, and Ramza's just gonna sit there accumulating or something. Might be the better way to go about it. Actually, no, he can't. Nah, whatever. We'll just do this. It's fine. Probably short on GP. Yeah, just short. I'm short in general anyway. Har har. Let's see. Also remember you can get new items after Igros, which helps improve your survivability. Yes, although right now their overall quote-unquote alpha strike potential with these Volt 2 seems to do the job real good. And I think we get bonus damage off of this rainstorm, don't we? Oh yeah, bonus damage off that rainstorm. About to go bring thunder. Not sure if it's heavy enough. Well, fine. Alright, first off, tell me how many points you need. You need 50 points. Surely this lightning storm situation would be enough, because we got at least 10 off of just residual stuff. Just off of bleed over, and he should have at least 2 turns himself. So that should be just enough. There's one thing I don't like in Fell Seal. Weather doesn't impact damage. Well, poo. Why doesn't it do that? I mean, I noticed there were land sharks. Surely, you know, if it was raining, they'd be a little bit more deadly. So your thunderstorm definitely give a boost. Heavy rain too. Light rain doesn't affect fire or lightning. However, CC is a lot more viable than another. Here's my question on Fell Seal. Did they actually figure out that spears are good? Because that usually tells me the state of the spear usually tells me how much thought they actually put into the balance. I know that seems weird, but that's literally the metric I always go by. The spears are actually good. Okay. Good to hear. Okay, so it's funny. The reason I say that, like, okay, Knight of Lotus, right? Spears are excellent in that one, but they're a little bit bulky. Spears in Tactics are original, very, very strong, but again, a little bit on the bulky side. I got spears in Tactics Ogre Remake, can be good. They're kind of situational, and for some reason they don't pierce armor. That was a really big given for me as far as somebody didn't think this balance through. Like early game they can work, but then late game they had a whole bunch of stuff that they just completely missed. And you just eventually start doing 1 damage with even the best spears and best spear skills and whatever else, with some very few exceptions. Anyway. So aside from that though, let's see, the spears in FFT, you know, they had their place. They seem to be pretty well set up, because it's one of those weapons that, you know, historically speaking, was always like friggin' dominant as all hell. Because, again, it's simple, you know, long range. It's like basically it was the assault rifle of its time. So, you know, makes sense. It should be popular. Anyway. So, like, whenever I see a game, they're like, no, they used everything but spears. Why would anybody use that? It's a specialist weapon. That's when I know that they probably went for anime balance. Because for some reason, like, the ultra anime stuff seems to really hate spears, and I don't know why, because that was like spear and bow, that was like the samurai thing. So why only swords? Why does it always have to be swords? Swords are kind of boring. Anyway, let's see. All for ones plus spear / gun is. You can do spear gun? Okay, that was my favorite combo in one vision. All right, I'm on board. The equivalent of Squire and Fell Seal gets an ability that lets them wield 2-handed weapons with 1 hand. Oh, they got Monkey Grip. So you can equip a shield with a warhammer or spear. Just notice you increase the range of turn punch. Oh, it's meant spear or gun. Okay. I was going to say, one of my favorite combos in One Vision, because they added one-handed spears and also the option to turn them into pikes. So you could have, like, you know how at the end of TOPSP you had those, like, long-range spears? At any point around Chapter 2, I think once you get to Baldur, you can, around Baldur's here, you can just basically use crafting to turn that into a pike instead. So instead of getting super weapons out of crafting, you turn them into full-blown pikes. It's awesome. It's awesome. So you get like a parry bonus off of spears, plus some evasion bonus, plus you can add long range and use them with a spear, so you can go like full Spartan with it. It's great. But yeah, turn punch is beyond viable. That thing can potentially be oppressive. Like if you're at full health, it doesn't matter that much, but man, as soon as you start dropping in health, you're in for a bad time. It's like, it's definitely one of those moves that whittles down very effectively. I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten low-key salty about that a couple times. It's like, man, just let everybody stop dying to turn punch, please. So I need to move this head again. It's bothering me again. There we go. Let's move that over slightly. There we go. Also, for no apparent reason, let's go ahead and stick some bridges in here. Why not? There we go. There we go. There's no bridges here. I just want to talk about some bridges. See, with gun you can do a follow-up attack most of the map, or with a spear you can do it on any enemy within 2 tiles circumference around your character. Gotcha. Oh wait, right, I was checking his stuff here. So yeah, he's about 1 attack away from doing it. You just go ahead and shank this guy, get a few more points, or don't. Fine, whatever. See, they spent over a year balancing Fell Seal and working on the AI. You also have the ability to control the difficulty level yourself. Does that mean you have to control the difficulty level yourself, or it adapts, or what? Like, are we talking like, let's say TOPSP, where you like how many of the broken skills you use decides how difficult it is, or like RE4, where it adjusts for how well you're doing, or like what are we talking there? You can turn on permadeath or leave it. You can also add enemy scales to your... Okay, I'm on board with that. Man, I want 20 bucks now. I wish I had 20 bucks. Alright, anyway. And yes, before somebody makes the joke, most of the middle of the month is spent completely and utterly broke on my end. That's kind of how that goes. Alright, let's see, that's out. Let's do this one. There we go. But yeah, so we're talking like second wave. I like it. I like it. But yeah, definitely permadeath. Always permadeath. Also throws in some modern comforts. Yeah. Man, I want... Axes are good. Yeah, another thing, oh yeah, Distribute did the job real well when we were doing the final fight. Friggin' Distribute carried that fight. Alright, so Ramza, you're leveled up now, right? Yeah, he's level 3. Okay, perfect. For no particular reason, let's just throw that out there. And please go beat down this guy. Let's see, someone was using Distribute with Bard, and it wasn't healing a ton, it was healing often. I didn't know Distribute could work. Oh, that got removed. Oh, Blade Grasp got removed. Yeah, I didn't think Distribute would work with Bard. I thought I tried that. Yeah, that sounds really good. Like, you have an entire team with Distribute. Like, granted, that would be a massive waste, but, entire team with Distribute, that could be something. Alright, this fight that was almost over a few turns ago appears to be taking a little bit longer. But yeah, the busted skills got removed. Basically, there's a very big reason to use a lot of the more unknown skills. Like, for example, I was actually using archer skills way up to the very end of the game. Actually, did you ever end up nerfing archers? Like, I remember you were threatening to nerf that disrupt skill straight into the ground. After I was using it to lock down the last boss. So yeah, want to win the game, raise his bravery to 9 to 5, use the shout with the Blade Grasp, yep. Or just Hamido everything. Hamido! Hamida. Disrupt. I don't think I think it was either distract or disrupt or something. It's basically archers got redone to be more like FFTA/FFTA2 archers. Also, Hamido is that skill that lets you attack first. Let's see, did not. Tested the 1.3 implementation of it, and it's horrifically bugged and only works once. Okay, so yeah, basically it's a skill that gives you, I think it was like 60% plus speed, chance to, or no, was it 50% plus speed? Something like that, to stop a charging attack. So like the boss kept charging its ultimate move, and I kept having a chemist with a shotgun, well, not a shotgun anymore at that point, but I had a chemist with a rifle and a shield, and so he would sit there, and basically, if the attack got off, I forget. Yeah, he had auto potion to heal off the damage. He had a shield to try and avoid it, but then ideally he was sitting there and trying to disrupt him over and over, so that he would just be wasting his turn instead. Which, honestly, I thought it was perfectly fair considering. Like, I mean, it wasn't reliable, and I had to rely on some layers of defense to make that work. Interrupting strike. There we go. But yeah, Hamido is one of the samurai skills. It's just basically if you're about to get melee attacked, there's a chance to just attack first and prevent them from ever attacking. Which they actually brought back in TOPSP. See, Cerabow, this came up in conversation the other day. Do you know what the holy modifier is on Excalibur? All. It's all the modifier. Alright, I actually have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Ignore me. Alright, Oracle. Oracle. Oracle, and hopefully we have full Oracles here. Ziggy, you complete disappointment. How dare you. Yeah, Ziggy's the only one that missed it. Good job, Ziggy. Also, you said everyone can use knives now, yeah? Alright. Do we have Wheel of Fate? Man, Wheel of Fate would be pretty baller here, actually. Okay. See, one with Prayer, one with Foresee Sickness, one with Curse, I think. And if I have anybody with points left on Wizard to go learn Fire... No, I don't. Okay, whatever. I just got mass healers now, I suppose. And so I think what we're going to do, we're going to get down to the last guy, and then we're just going to keep spamming Prayer until we're done. Because there's literally nothing they can do about that. Like, at this point, Prayer should be enough to out-heal any damage they can do, I would figure. So I think that's what I'll have Jet Jaguar doing. Okay, auto regen. Definitely want to pick that up. Let's see, what percentage modifier is added to holy damage when a character has Excalibur equipped? It's exactly the same as 108 gems. Strength and elements are the same. I forget the exact offhand, but it's like 30 or 50%. It's a misnomer that the attribute makes Orlando stronger. None of his skills are actually holy elemental. Yep. ZC's true. They are make everything dead elemental. So, by the way, interesting topic came up over in the One Vision discussion. Who wins in a fight, right? The end game. Okay, so end game versions. We're talking like max level. You've been using them all game, right? Orlando or Canopus. Who wins? Because I seriously think it would be Canopus between the two of them. Like, for anyone that happens to be here that doesn't know what I'm talking about. So, obviously Orlando and FFT get all the sword skills and everything else. He can basically constantly heal himself and everything else. Canopus, if we're talking about the default version of PSP, or TOPSP, you get him a few fights in. If you give that guy a bow, he can basically insta-delete any enemy throughout the entire game from start to friggin' finish. Like, recently I was going through the vanilla version of that game. I left him with a basic short bow in his basic class. he was still one-shotting units up by, like, Chapter 3 with a basic short bow. Like, that thing does 1 damage for anybody else. He's there doing, like, 100 plus. It's, the guy just deletes everything. That's ridiculous. I seriously have no idea what they were thinking when they balanced in, but oh well. Alright, so Brack Magic. Actually, I'm just gonna have everyone wait and let them get closer. Man, this is an unusually calm day. Nobody's playing nice, nobody's freaked out because their Cheerios got stolen. What is going on? Actually, after this fight, I'm gonna go make another, I'm gonna go do the rounds real quick. Everyone looks good, but I just want to top off everyone, make sure that they're all good. Alright. Okay, go ahead and do that one. Man, they hit hard now. Yeah, it's heavy rain now. I think it's heavy rain anyway. Looks like they're getting a nice little bonus. Let's see, the reason I was curious is that's decimate the enemy with Ramza and square. So longbow archer damage should be viable. Oh wait, did some min-max numbers testing longbow archers late game around level 70 could do between 220 and 360. Okay. Yeah, it would be good to see them actually getting their spot again. Because they definitely have been a little bit behind the curve for a while. See, Calc plus Holy plus Excalibur equals 999 in the original version. Fair enough. Alright, what's cheap here? Regen's kind of cheap. Why don't you just go for this? Darkness hits, whatever. We're just here to farm some JP. So you believe it? Ramza had good MA growth? Yeah, I think he was second only to Reyes, wasn't he? May not always be 999? Well, I mean, if you can ever achieve 999, that's already close enough. So yeah, Prayer is going to be enough to completely overpower everybody here. Seems pretty freaking OP for early game. Because it's slightly more MP than a regular cure, but I mean, half as much actual healing, but then you heal the entire party. So, I don't know, it seems pretty good. See, they claimed it was only possible if you leveled down and went back up to reach it. You dick! You blew up my hat! Tried to explain to them that you can do it if you just level up naturally, though they... Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could do that well before the MA cap. Alright, let's drop a bolt right there. Let's drop a second bolt right there. Pew pew pew. So I'm going to drop 2 bolts on either side. And then I believe that should be enough to leave at least one of them crippled, the rest just with heads exploded. Okay, especially with magic attack up. Helped you hit it early. Calculator ensured that it hit everyone, and Excalibur boosted the damage plus let it... Yeah. I mean, there's really no need to hit exactly 999. Honestly, once the point you're at 800, there's really nothing that's going to be a threat to you anyway. It's like, hell, by the time you could do 400, most of the rest of the game wasn't a threat anymore. Dead. Holy crap, that friggin' 50 plus from his really, really high faith. These poor goblins just sitting there like, yeah, maybe not these guys. We've made a mistake. Mistakes have been made. Run away. Although one thing I always absolutely adored was just how much you could break the game by auto grinding. Like we did a community run last year for FFT, and it was this awesome thing where, like, every time that my turn came up, I would basically just pick a random class and max it out. And so just like the next person was getting the class, like, oh yeah, Ramza suddenly a maxed out Dragoon, and suddenly has all the Dragoon skills, and now Mustadio is a knight with concentration and break skills, and uh-oh. Hang on, break's coming early. Be right back. Alright, and back. Let's continue on. There we go. What did he do to make Cloud viable? He became the anti-boss unit. It's awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and I guess just do a regen or a cure or something. Who's got damage? You've got damage? Okay. Let's go ahead and cure him a little bit. Just go ahead and poison him or something. Let's see, how many points do you need? You are 155 out of 300, so we got a little bit of a ways to go. Save your starters, he joins the party. He joins the party level. Had a crap load more unlocked. In fact, you get everyone in Chapter 1 has level 1 Mime unlocked, which gives them level 4 and a crap load of jobs. His skill requires swords, not the Materia Blade. Yeah, he's really good. They're all really good, actually. Like, I really loved how last time when Agrius came in, like, she just came in with steel and was able to just steal somebody's weapon in the first fight that she was in. Great. But yeah, it's real good. It's real good how it is now. Alright, let's go give you a cure. Rude. Why are you getting those crits? How much did that give you anyway? Okay, 168. Alright, go do that, as long as everybody's getting stuff. So Holy is cheaper MP cost, cannot be invaded. Hang on, no, summons could be evaded in vanilla, I was pretty sure. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen knights block with their shields pretty often. Am I thinking of, did they change that in the PSP remake or something? Because I know for a fact I saw that. And I should have given everyone for Sea Fortune. Oh, just summons like Lich? Oh, because he didn't have to... See, only Lich could be evaded because it never had 100% chance to hit. Okay, gotcha. Because I was thinking, like, I remember seeing Knights block it. Kind of surprised that this Panther is still sticking into the fight. But wait a minute, couldn't shields and all that block it anyway? Like, even if it was not technically blockable or something like that? Yeah, I'm glad Foresee Fortune is cheap. Or that it really doesn't cost anything. Alright, let's turn you into a zombie, I think. Usable because even if units went, they never hit your allies. Yeah, definitely a lot more deadly than they were in TO. Or at least a lot more utilitarian than they were in TO. They were way more deadly when they had the TO variant, because it was literally just like it worked the same way as the current the way they made the the Heaven and Hell skills work, where it's just like it would have a set amount of attacks, except that now when it was based off intelligence, I forget if it's that way in this one, but it was based off intelligence, and it would just be that whole thing where like they got up to I think 11 attacks off, and depending on how you target it, they used the same targeting area as FFT. Except it would, like, if you targeted it all on one guy, then it would just hit that one guy for all those attacks, and it was just an insta-kill move. It was really, really good, is what I'm trying to get at here. Alright, so we'll continue robbing this poor goblin. Apparently just telling him his fortune forever, as if it isn't clear. Let's see, nothing that added statuses were 100% unless you were an assassin. Gotcha. Let's see, self-fast. Don't exactly remember them in TO. Yeah, there were there were summons in TO. They just worked a lot differently. Alright, nothing for you to do, so you might as well knock this one out. Or at least try to. Gonna have her move over here because I don't have any revive abilities, so I don't want to end the fight early. She's gonna die of poison though, because I'm an idiot. Don't know why I didn't see that coming. Alright, keep fortuning. Maybe we might still get to level 3 before the end of this fight. Let's see, how far are we? Still need another 100. I mean, I guess it's technically possible. Should have locked him in place. Now he's gonna run. So you happy to answer any mechanical FFT questions? It's just about rep the game part at a balance level. It's good to see though. It's always good to see that kind of stuff. Like again, I know I mentioned this ad nauseum now, but I love how after years of people digging through TOPSP, We're still only now figuring out what some of the debuffs do. That's awesome. See, only haven't ripped it apart at a memory/assembly level, other people have. But that's the boring part. See, reading hexadecimal is just so fun. Oh, by the way, hello there, Densa. Sorry, you have the same same color as Kiba there, so I didn't see it. Right, do you have raise? You do. Okay, then in that case we can keep this train going. Say, I want to change oil to be curse, which increases any elemental damage, not just fire. That'd be fun. You think it's gonna be possible? Alright, we'll get that one up. I think we'll go ahead and knock out that tiger, or that panther. Because unfortunately they're just getting to be a problem at this point. They might revive, in which case fine, they come back. Let's have you go ahead and top off. See, what races or classes that summons in TO? Depends on which version. If we're talking about, let's go ahead and restore. If we're talking about the PSP remake, you had, I believe Wizards could use it originally. Warlocks, Witches, Rune Fencers were probably the most notable users of it. Lord, the Oracles, the Witch, or the Wiki, rather. What else? There were some others as well, like I think the Paladin could use them. There were so friggin' many classes in that game. Let's see. Because when you select someone, it says silence, that's an image, not text. To attack? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Willis. But yeah, a bunch of characters got summons in TO. To some degree, ninjas had them too, but it was like this weird thing where it was not exactly the same thing. Like, it functionally worked the same way as the regular summons, except like a diet version. And then they got an advanced version that was really difficult to get a hold of that was basically the same thing, except at the same time it was in a completely different skill tree, so it was kind of redundant. It's weird. There's a lot of stuff that was like, why is this here? Right. Keep on air robbing this guy. Some coffee targets someone with his dagger. It says poison. It's an image. Oh, that's what you mean. See, ninjas were powerful to me, but mostly for their debuffs and CC. Yeah, if friggin' like dual swords. Interestingly enough, daggers and one-handed katanas and longbows. The only reason that they were so overpowered in that game is because they actually have a hidden bonus. They're not supposed to be as strong as they are. And I have a theory that I've been kind of wondering about ever since recently when I've been doing a no money run of that game, or the original versions. But were OP in FFT? Yeah, they were. Now imagine if those same ninjas then had an ability to basically ignore melee damage while still getting a counter, while also having the ability to be casters, while also having the highest evasion in the game, while also what a dick. Why did you do that? Death by rock. Yeah, summons were available in TD, yeah. Yeah, ninjas had... Oh yeah, but ninjas also could ignore terrain with one of their abilities. They also had access to almost every debuff in the game, plus most of the advanced debuffs, plus also had some of the best equipment in the game. Plus... I mean, they basically... Their dual-wield skill was ridiculous. Alright, can you change by chance? No. We're just shy of it, aren't we? Man, so close. It's right there! Alright, whatever. We're gonna set everybody to have Foresee Fortune this time. Get first seed paralysis. Yeah, so they're just going to use prayer up until, or they're going to use bolts. Then any bolts that are left over, they're going to use prayer, and then from there they just basically keep using fortune over and over. And then that should get them all capped out. Let's see. Wonder what a no money run would look like on the mod. I will give you a... I do give you a lot of war trophies. Yeah, I was interested in trying that too. So, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go someday. How about after this run? We'll give it a go. Alright, I think that's everybody. Yeah, everybody's got it, so we're good to go. Does anyone else remember Front Mission? Hell yeah, I do. I think, like everybody else, my biggest experience of that one was probably Front Mission 3, with the world's dumbest protagonist, but some of the best strategy gameplay I've seen in a little bit. Although, to be fair, like, it was basically setting up randomness to work for you, but man, it was so satisfying when you could get somebody stacked up with like 3 rate of fire 3s. Front Mission 1 was fun. Yeah, I've looked at it. Like, I actually have it, and I've looked at it. 2 was weird. I don't know what they were thinking with 2, but, I mean, there was a step on the road to 3. I'm just gonna go that way. You have the ability to take over enemy mechs. You could do that in all of them, though. Like, in Front Mission 3, you could do that, too. Basically, they started considering whether to surrender. You hopped out of your mech, you pulled out your pistol, popped them once, they surrendered, you hopped in. Done deal. And probably the best one is if you could get those situations where, like, you get somebody with a like aim pilot or whatever else, and then you combine that with rate of fire 3 or something, and then suddenly they're like, oh yeah, let me just shove this gigantic machine gun right in your cockpit. It's like, oh, whoops, that suddenly turned into a war crime. Anyway, all right, let's do same as before. We're just gonna go ahead and sit here. That moment when accidental war crimes. But yeah, Front Mission's an awesome series. I wish they'd bring it back in some way that wasn't a shooter. I really don't get why they keep trying to do that. It's like Evolved was a complete steaming pile, and then they had the one recently, which was, I mean, it was interesting and stylistic or whatever, but it still really didn't do well. Stop making it a shooter, make it a strategy game, dang it. It's what the series is. How hard is that? See, what do you consider the best minigame in an RPG? It depends on how we define minigame, because personally, I would say it's all of the gimmick missions in FFTA 2. Like the weird little minigame missions where you have all kinds of bizarre objectives. Like, oh, this guy has to interview so many people before, you know, you gotta keep him safe from all these exploding units while all these dudes randomly run around trying to kill him off. Alright, that one's probably toast. I'm gonna wait for a minute. Let's see. Okay, I haven't seen a card game in Xenosaga. If we're talking card game minigames, personally I've always kind of been a fan of Caravan from New Vegas. Just because I kind of like the overall idea. Especially the way that it's implemented, that just about anybody can go play. And you potentially could get a whole bunch of interesting stuff out of it. I mean, do we count the internet in Front Mission as a minigame? I think it's kind of a minigame. Alright, great. We got a Squire with Speedrun over there. That's a bit annoying. I also didn't realize that I only had one guy charging on that left guy. Okay, see you soon, Mr. Cerabow. Okay, so we should have the right side wiped in just a moment. Or not. Okay, they all spread out. That's a problem. Gonna get one unit doing a prayer, I think. We gotta get the 2 right ones lightning. Something to remember from the future is that this elevation bonus seems to do a good job of keeping Spin Fist away. Alright. So let's go Bolt 2 it up a little bit. Let's get this guy gone, because I don't want to deal with his speed. Alright. Get him gone. Actually, yeah, if we can get multiple units gone, I'm not going to bother with that prayer this turn. I'm going to go for that next round. Bring in the thunder. See, Avatar's minigame was a really bad version of Risk. I've never seen it, but I can certainly believe it. Speaking of, has anybody here played Risk Europe? Because I've tried to get my cousins and all that to play that with me. They played it exactly one time and got extremely pissed off that I ever would suggest playing that again. Like, I had gotten it as a gift a few years ago for Christmas. And I loved the mechanics of that one. Because it's basically, you still have your Risk thing, but you also have, like, you set up castles all over Europe, basically. And they can't attack those particular territories unless they have siege equipment. Not to mention, you have basically 8 commands, and then all of those 8 commands, you pick 2 of them. You put them down, you have to take those commands in that order. Then you have 6 commands left, you take 2 of them, then another 2 of them, etc. And those are stuff like go collect taxes to actually collect some money, or raise some extra troops, or, you know, defend a particular territory. So basically everyone's locked in due to a lack of resources. And man, they were pissed at not being able to do whatever they wanted at any given turn. It's like, but everybody here likes Betrayal at House on the Hill. How's that different? You have 0 authority on what to do in that game. Or autonomy or whatever. I can continue with the lightning. The idea is that you're trying to move your side units across Mandora to take over the planet. Time moves while you play the main game, so you have to take a break during the main game to do your next step. The game doesn't tell you when your turn is up. Weird. Oh, you know what? Actually, come to think of it, are we allowed to count that weird kind of Risk minigame in Battlefront, like the original Battlefront, or Battlefront 2 rather, on like either the PS2 or the PC or whatever you played it on? Because that was pretty cool. Avatar movie game was good overall, though. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. For a second there, when you were saying Avatar, I was thinking like, you know, the other Avatar. Never played it? Okay, so basically it had this thing you could do where you had an entire map of like all the maps in the game, right? They were just like laid out all over the place. And pretty much what you would do is you would essentially like spend each turn like, okay, you got a couple, you know, a few extra armies, and you can put them to reinforce certain planets. And so basically those would be your reinforcement tickets for the fight. And then you had little perks that you could buy, you know, like all your capture points of turrets on them, or you get a hero unit for that particular fight, or that kind of thing. And so you basically were going and setting up all this stuff, and then during your turn you would attack a planet, and then they would attack a planet. And then, like, say if there were 2 like space fleets fighting, you'd have a space battle, or like if they landed in one of the versions, I think it was one of the PSP ones, like you could do the same thing, except you actually could transition between the ground and space battles, and that one was really cool. I think that was Rogue Squadron that you could do that? No, that wasn't Rogue Squadron. That was, what the hell was it called? They had 2 of them. One of them sucked, one of them didn't. That came out on the PSP. But yeah, it was really cool. Like, you could transition between, like, ground and space battles and everything. But yeah. The only downside is that the AI was weird. Because in some versions, or like in some cases, like if you set it to normal, the AI was dumb as a dang rock. Like you would literally sit there. Yeah, Battlefront on the PSP sucked? Okay, yes. Yes it did. Because that was the bad version of it. Because it was basically a boiled down version of what was in the PS2 and PC version. Like to the point where they even forgot the best maps. Like the friggin' map with all the like raised islands and bridges and everything. Man, I loved that on the PS2 one, and then I picked up the PSP one. And it was just like, I keep going through random, trying to find that map, you know, doing like hundreds of matches. I'm like, where's my favorite map? I know I'm missing it somewhere. Maybe I have to unlock it somewhere. They're like, no, it doesn't exist. The best map is gone. See, why do they feel like a shooting game on the PSP should be a thing? I don't know. They wanted it to be the Vita, and then they made the Vita, and then they got murdered because, you know, phones were taken over at that point. Which shooters on the Vita actually worked really well. And actually, if you go back and take PSP games and like PS1 games and rebind them to Vita controls, they work amazingly. Like probably one of the best examples, if you've ever played Shadow Tower, like the controls are awkward as hell on the PS1, or even on an emulator. But then you take it on the Vita, like you rebind all the weird like trigger controls to the sticks, and it works. It works great. It basically plays like Skyrim at that point. Important updates are pending. No, Windows 10. How about no? Stop forcing me to pick a time. Can you please not? How about... Yeah, sure, next Monday. Beautiful. Goodbye. Alright. I need to get this guy a little bit more wounded, I think. Smack. But yeah, that kind of stuff works great. Oh, by the way, speaking of stuff that works way better on other stuff, have you ever played Vagrant Story? And I'm assuming you have. On the assumption that you played Vagrant Story, have you played the rebalance mod for that? Yep, and yep. Oh, your copy got stolen? Okay. Vagrant Story, I think it's just Vagrant Story Hardcore or Vagrant Story Rebalanced or something like that. It's not actually more difficult, but they fix so much stuff in that game. It's another thing. It's kind of like One Vision, where it's just like it's clearly a labor of love from somebody that really, really understands the mechanics of the game. So they added new enemies to it and everything. They added new rooms and props and everything. They rebalanced everything to be a bunch of awesome stuff. I would love to see a rebalance of Suikoden and Tactics. I don't know if that's gotten a rebalance, but I know that there's a Suikoden hardcore mod. Wouldn't recommend it though, but supposedly it gets better. It was basically this difficulty rebalance for Suiko 2. Whew, that one hurt. That one really hurt to play. Apparently they expected somebody to have enough knowledge of the mechanics of the game to just pretty much turn the difficulty up to 45 right from the very first outset of the game, to the point where even random enemies are giving you a bunch of debuffs that you can't even cure. So like what happened to me is that everybody kept getting hit with balloon and just floating away. It's like, okay, that's... I literally can do nothing about this. What do you want from me? Like, no, but it's difficult, though. Yeah, it definitely was too easy. Suiko 2 was very, very easy. The mod, the hardcore mod, and again, it may have been updated since, there may have been something I missed, maybe something went janky with my install. But, like, in the very intro, for some reason, the main characters were given the ability to revive, like, over a dozen times. No idea why. They just kept getting insta-killed over and over to the point where, like, there wasn't even anything doable by that point. You literally just had to sit there and die over and over. All you have to do is abuse the elemental train. Don't know. But either way, you know, I don't know if there's one for Suikoden Tactics. I've heard about it. I actually haven't played that one yet. It's another one on the seemingly never-ending list of stuff that I should try. But yeah, Suiko 2 is the one that I played the most. Freaking adore that game. Alright. Tell me your status, sir. Almost there. We're almost at the ability to actually recruit some dudes. Alright, just a couple more rounds of this and then we're done. Why is this guy still alive? Why does he have so much health? I should correct that. In fact, I'm almost thinking it makes sense to just kill off that panther. Who's calling me now? Man, random spam calls just never ends with you. Alright. So does this do poison? Poison and silence. Okay. See if we can just poison him. There we go, now they're all blocked in. And there we go. Yeah, one of those games that I always wanted to see a remake happen, or not a remake, but just kind of like a rebalance mod of some description, or just even an extra content mod or something is Night of Lotus. It's like the thing had so many interesting mechanics that just never got to really shine. I mean, it tries every now and then, it has interesting stuff going on constantly, but it's just, there was so much more potential there, you know? Like, I absolutely love that game to pieces. Done, who even knows how many runs of it at this point. And just, yeah, so much more stuff that could have been done with the way that the classes unlock. So much more that could have been done with the different emblems that could be done. Like, if somebody just went in and they rebalanced more of the emblems to give you more stuff. Like, I know they were worried about increasing, you know, attack too much or something like that. But it would have been interesting, like, let's say you give somebody an emblem for, like, if they hit 10 melee attacks in a row, they end up getting a agility boost. Or, you know, just replace any of the multiplayer emblems with something good. Like, some of them were crazy specific. Like, I think it was, like, if a... What was it? I think if it was, like, a male character beat a female character in multiplayer, then they end up getting one of the emblems. It's like, why is this here? Hi there, Smoothall. How's it going? Yeah, it is FF Tactics, except it's Cerabow. It is the Cerabow mod. So basically, this is a rebalance by Mr. Cerabow. I believe he's currently stepped away doing something. And yeah, it's a really fun mod. Basically, just rebalances the entire dang thing to get rid of the broken stuff, improve the good stuff. Adds a whole lot of new skills and stuff like that. I like to see it as. Pretty please tell me I can play it on PC. You absolutely can. Whenever Mr. Cerebow's back, he should be back any minute now. You just gotta contact him. Just let him know you want to be a tester. So yeah, there we go. I mean, I'm playing it on PC right now. EPSXE. Literally all you gotta do is you download EPSXE. Then you do a quick Google search for PS1 BIOS. You just download that sucker, and yeah, you just like slap it in the BIOS folder in EPSXE, and that's it. It's good to go. That's literally all you gotta do. So pretty freaking simple to set up. From there, if you want to make the mod, you just get the original ROM of the game. You get a PPF editor, which PPF-O-Matic is what I use. You just basically take that thing, slap it into, slap the mod onto the ROM, and you're good to go. Like, if you want to, are you on Discord? I can just walk you through it. Are you planning to do a full Let's Play of this? Yes. So I've already done a full testing run of this. This is the monster run, the Godzilla run, as it were. So right now I'm just power leveling oracles, so that I can get to the Rune Seeker, which is basically like kind of like a rebalance of the old Negotiator / Orator, whichever version you are playing. So basically it's like a wizard negotiator. Talked about this game just a couple days ago. Yes, I know. We talked about it a couple days ago, and now we're doing it. By the way, I don't usually do like an entire full week of this, by the way. Why didn't you tell them that you planned to do this game? I did. I mentioned it several times, in fact. Yeah, I've been mentioning it all week. Yeah, I did! This is the Godzilla run I've been talking about. Seriously, this is the Godzilla run I was talking about. Because, yeah, we already have the first of this is going to be a monster-only run. So yeah, I've done a regular run. Godzilla PS4? No, there's apparently a new Toho Godzilla movie coming out at the end of the month. So Mr. Vale was mentioning, like, hey, it would be hilarious if you just went through, did the monster run, but named everybody after monster run characters. So right here we have Jet Jaguar, the Oracle. You know, why not? So there we go. He's at level 3 Oracle, so we can just go ahead and get this finished up now. We have what we need. The run starts now. So perfect time, Mr. Smoothall. Sorry, I'm confusing sometimes, I know. My wife tells me that all the time. Slash, hey, you're a little bit special. It's fine. Where can I buy this ROM? You just go get it. It's from like Cool ROM or something like that. Just Google like just Google PS1 ROMs. Go to the F section and get just get this one. Just always use alternate downloads because I always try to like sell you random software you don't need. All right, there we go. So we have the Rune Seeker. Personally, my favorite class in the game. So yeah, it's funnily enough, if we're talking about the legality of it all, there's kind of a funny little thing, wherein about a year ago they actually changed a lot of laws where, technically speaking, when it comes to mods and stuff like that, if there is something that would otherwise not be able to work on a particular platform, and you have obtained actual versions of the game before, then they're not going to do anything. Like, it's legit to go and get it yourself. So, for example, there's no FFT for actually, I don't know if there's no ROM version, nor is there a modded version of PS1 that is available for purchase for PC. So you'd be able to, for example, like if you've bought FFT before, you can just go get the ROM, modify it. There you go. It's a little bit more questionable in some instances, but that's kind of the long and short of it. I want to go Void or anything. I think I want to go Distribute. We're going to try mixing Prayer and Distribute. There we go. So now we're going to do this amazing thing called, we're going to go in there, we're going to beat the crap out of everything that isn't a monster unit, and then recruit them from there. So I'm going to try to recruit a couple of them. I've got about maybe half an hour left before lunch. Yeah, everybody's doing all good over there, so that's what we'll do. So all I can get access to right now is Goblins and Panthers. Now, the reason that I wanted to go for this, let's see, fair use is still cloudy in the legal world? Kind of, but their specific wording in the most recent release that they had put out specifically said if there is no way to acquire a particular version or a modified version of a particular software, and you have a legal copy of some description, like you've already paid them to have that thing, they're not going to split hairs over what's technically allowed. It's just fine, basically, was how they put it. Let's have you get auto regen. I know it's a little bit weird to be going for skills on the rest of these guys, since I'm basically going to be firing them all. But for now, I just want to be able to do this. To train, yes. So yeah, Ramza will not have any passive skills aside from train and monster skill. He's just permanently locked into that one. Ziggy over here remains disappointing, because he's permanently behind everybody forever. Alright. Though it doesn't really matter, because we don't necessarily need anything other than the ability to recruit here. So that's fine. That's just fine. But yeah, the rule set that we're going on for this run is that I have to have the actual monster team set up by Dorder Trade City. So everybody except for Ramza and guests have to be fired by the time we get to Dorder. They will no longer be around and all that kind of business. And Ramza has to never get rid of his monster training skills. So either monster skill or train always has to be in use. Aside from that, we'll see. He can only use things that are within the spirit of his class. So I'm kind of using the Tactics Ogre Beastmaster as a, I guess, sort of template for that. So basically, I'm probably going to have him as a squire with a spear and light armor. See, what am I going to do now? Don't have enough time to play Xenos, and was 2 separate games here with you. Well, you can go ahead and watch this one, and I mean, we're going to do some runs. I mean, that's the thing. I like to do 2 separate games at one time. So what I'd like to do is like one Matsuno type of game, so like FFT or Tactics Ogre or something like that. Something like that. Hang on, does that make Ramza a blue mage? Not really. Not really. But you can't fire guests, no. Yeah, that one's a little bit loud. Alright, so what I want to do is get two Panthers, two Goblins, which... Well, that could not be more perfect. Okay. So we're basically just going to sit here and roll 12% until we get this. See, Stellaris is free to play on the weekend. I was about to check that. Well, I mean, go ahead and watch the runs, and then Stellaris will be there. You know, you can play some Stellaris, watch some of this. You want anything tested, you know, maybe strategize for your own run on it. It's all doable. But yeah, the only place to get this mod currently is through Cerabow. So to agree to be one of the testers, because it's not technically finished yet, but he is wrapping it up. So, you know, whenever that happens. So... Why did I not change any of these guys over to Rune Seekers? I'm an idiot! Alright. Whatever, just go whack this thing, I suppose. Just get your few JPs that you need in order to go upgrade your class. Ooh, this one even comes in with, no wait, that's CT save. I was gonna say, it seemed like it was regen for a moment. But yeah, there's always too many games to play, too little time. We were having that exact discussion earlier. Alright. Runic Persuade! 17%. Time to roll those really low odds forever. And we just got the perfect map for this, too. That's what sucks. By the way, I hope you like this animation, because we're going to see it a billion times. Hi there, Mr. Pro Cow. How you doing, good sir? Alright, let me see. Where is Mr. Vale's post here? Alright, so. Need a King Caesar if we get a Panther. And then do we have... And then an Orga if we get a Goblin. Yeah, this fight might not even be one that I win. See, until you run out of MP? Exactly, but that's why I want to get move MP up as well. We'll get that later. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering about the renaming thing, so for Smoothhull, Evan, and everybody else here, one of the cool things this mod adds is the ability to rename your characters. And this includes special characters, and special characters can also go out on side missions now. So that's pretty baller right there! Also, unlike TO, having lower health does not cause them to be more likely to join you. It turns out, yeah, being beaten down doesn't really cause them to be too friendly. Who would have thunk it, right? Have any coffee left? A little bit. Ah, good coffee. Can't wait to go get more. Alright, let's go ahead and drop a prayer here. Keep everybody a little bit topped off. What's the actual range on this? 1, 2, 3. Okay, never mind. I can't go for that far one because I took that tile. When I was putting him there, I was thinking, actually, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can do that. Actually, no. Do we even want to? Let me see real quick. Who's got that bravery? Okay, 64 brave. That ain't bad. You're trash. Okay, no. 71. I think that's the one I probably want to go for. 74. Alright. Let's see. I had Apple Boy with me on a mission. I swear his voice was different in the first mission. Yeah, I think you're thinking about the subway mission. Yeah, he gets a different one for some reason. It's weird. There's a couple times when he changes voices. They probably just had different voice actors or something. Alright, that will get close to finishing him, but not quite. Funny part is, Apple Boy was that chemist I was talking about earlier last time. He's also one of the characters from Armored Core 3. For anyone who hasn't played that one. So, like, that's the thing. As far as not enough time to play everything, like, I want to do more Armored Core runs. But then it's that same thing where, like, every time I do runs, I think aside from ProCal, almost nobody ever shows up. So, it's like, nobody ever shows up for those. Nobody ever goes back and looks it up. Like, there's a lot of really fun things to do, but nobody's heard of most of the Armored Core series, period. Most of the community has turned on itself. Like, regularly has spent years turning on itself to a point that's kind of bizarre. And Apple Boy tanked late game. Yeah, he was the ultimate tank. Just there with his shield, his auto potion, and his friggin' interrupt. The man refused to die. And that's funny, because he wasn't even the immortal Mega Zombie. Like, we turned Rad into what was basically the Mountain by that point. You show up, this is true, this is true. You're always there. Right, can you stick whack this guy? That one health. That one friggin' health. Fine, I guess we'll use a Bolt 2. Go take out this cat. Well, that went well. That went well. It's got friggin' played by a robot cat. See, Curse Gear makes you immune to crystal and treasure now. Oh man, that sounds OP as hell, I'm not gonna lie. That should be awesome. Cause yeah, that was basically our issue last time. We made Rad immune. Like, immune to that stuff, but he was, well, he also was kind of immune to coming back to life. So that was a problem. Alright, let's get rid of you. Don't really want to use that 12 MP, but whatever, we'll do. Goodbye, and then I want to at least get one of those two that are crouched in the back. So it's kind of funny. When they were making the TO PSP remake, a lot of the things that they were doing were to try and kind of find a middle ground between what TO did originally and what FFT did. So apparently that's where that whole mechanic came from, where like every step your weight is counted, your recovery time is counted, like every skill has its own point cost associated, where you can do multiple actions per turn, whatever else, but your next turn will take that much longer. It's like if you set up like a double shot with an archer and then you have them take those two shots, their next turn is going to be like, they're going to get double turned, basically. So you could functionally overclock your units, which is why I compare it to XCOM 2 a whole bunch. Because I feel like the ultimate evolution of that was XCOM 2, but it didn't exactly have the same setting or nearly as many unit types as Tactics Over did. I just feel like of the overall mechanics, they kind of got it right. What the hell? Why does Lexington Law not leave me alone? I am too broke to afford you. Stop trying to sell me things. I'm trying, okay? Like, right on the cusp of getting financially stable again. And, by the way, massive thanks to you-know-who-you-are for actually allowing that window to happen. I know it took a long time to go there. But yeah. If it wasn't for somebody's assistance several months ago, would be in a bit of a much more difficult spot. But there's actually the opportunity for recovery now. Come on, invites! You fool! Alright, I need to pick up train. That's what I need to do. So yeah, we're picking up train. We're putting that on frickin' everybody. Puppy, why are you whining over there? Braxton, what are you doing? Come here. What are you doing? What's wrong, good boyish doggo? Yeah, train would really help. It's guaranteed to work, right? Like, if you knock him into critical, it's just guaranteed to recruit. I don't know if it's a chance to work or if it's guaranteed. One way or another, there's no real reason to have monster scale on him. For some reason, I thought train was over on thief. Which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but hey. This is me we're talking about, I don't make sense. Let's see. I did the MT test mission, and after I made 4 get shot by teammates, sat on the last ones, and I couldn't do anything. Yeah, it's fun. I love doing that. I think that's one of my favorite little tricks, because I pulled it off in a speedrun once. And it worked out real well. Alright, yeah, there's nothing else for it. These guys gotta go. Sorry guys, with your pretty decent stats, you go bye-bye now. Just occurred to me, I potentially wasted last of their MP here. Which potentially might put me in a spot where Ramza's knocked out, but I don't have anyone that can get over to that. No, they can jump over bodies, never mind. That's a TO problem. Yeah, TO PSB, if a unit goes down, they're physically still counted as being there. So you can potentially run into situations where you can't kill the last unit because they can't run by a dead body. So that's just weirdness. He tamed it! Yes! Total accident. Total accident, but it worked. Ah, that'll do. That'll do, random oracle. He will now replace you. Hell yeah, it's a party. Alright, when do I call you again? King Caesar. Okay. You are King Caesar. Should call him Kaiser Caesar. Alright, let's go rename him. Alright. Okay, that was a weird little glitch. How the King Caesar. Yeah, we'll just pretend all of that was planned. Sucks, I could have gotten that other one. That one goblin that came in with like 76 brave. Alright. Yeah, those new features. Those new features. Alright, so we got a Scratchy Scratch. That's nifty. We got Poison. Got Cat Kick, and then I don't know what his bonus move is. But, what I do know is that you can probably learn Tame. Or Train, or whatever the hell it is. No, you can't. Alright, everybody else can probably learn it. Also, I love that it's been 1 day. It's been 1 day and he asexually produced an extra egg. Wow! It's kind of impressive. Okay, and then we'll set Train. Alright, you already have Train. You're gonna learn Train. And then also, we're gonna set everybody to actually be the proper class now. You got busy with one of the oracles? Oh god. Oh no. Eltiana, please explain. Why is there fur on your clothes? I guess technically we don't need more than one, do we? Let's see, is it mediators who have trained in vanilla? Maybe? I guess technically we just need a goblin. For some reason, I was thinking I needed two, but yeah, we just need a goblin. In fact, I might just leave them as oracles then, because then I can continue giving him skill points. How close are you to move MP up? I mean, you're pretty close. In fact, I might as well just change him and then just swap the skills around, because I want him to have move MP up. Let's go ahead and save it. Let's get us a goblin, and then we're good to go. I mean, like I said, we literally just need one. So if you guys have alternate names, by the way, for the different variants of them, I'm probably going to name rename the third tier variant as whatever, you know, the cool thing was. I might just keep one of each. I don't know. Train! The train keeps on rolling. Alright, this is probably going to be the last fight of all these oracles. And they're just going to go stab a goblin till it joins us. That's how they say hello, after all. Naturally. I don't know how else you do it. I mean, you just basically show up to a family gathering, just there like, yeah, hello! Nice to see you! So they're like, how were the kids? I mean, goblin meetings are weird. They're a hard time. Apparently Glenn Beck's falling on hard times over here. Just hanging out with panthers in the middle of a field. Okay, we got a heavy thunderstorm. We're gonna get some nice bolt action. So apparently it's just basic melee attacks. PETA's gonna get you. Why? We're making more animals happen. That gives even more pets for them to potentially abduct. Man, that's jacked up. Like, for all the crap that the PETA gives people, like all the reports that came out that they basically just go around freaking abducting people's pets and putting them down. It's like, yeah, okay, that's... what the hell is that even? Like, no, but it prevents them from being owned. They're free now. And slightly more dead than before. Like, okay then. I think we're just gonna go ahead and say somebody's a little bit crazy. Alright. We need Kitty Cat gone more than anything, I think. What are we doing over there? Okay, apparently we were, little lady was teasing her brother with Cheerios. She's like, oh no, you gotta come get him. I'm not gonna bring him to you, you gotta come to me. Realistically, I should have waited one more turn for them to get closer. I used their faster turns to run up and get big ol' AoEs on them. I think we should be alright, though. They're at about 60%, give or take. So we can just overpower them right now. I need to go for the full ambush. I mean, if somebody's hiding in a bush, technically they are currently already in a state of ambush, because they are the bush. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about either. Oh well. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah, okay, now you make that impossible throw through that tiny rock that shouldn't possibly block your throw. I see how it is. Yeah, thankfully counter throw does not respect obstacles. So they'll gladly make throws they wouldn't make otherwise. Although I still don't know what I prefer more. It's like with this one where they ignore obstacles entirely. But then if you're throwing them, you can't throw through stuff. Or the TO variant, where like they'll awkwardly chuck like a boulder over everything. It's unclear which one would be better. Okay. Let the shanking begin. Alright, do that. Oh, good job. Awesome. There we go. They got hit with darkness. Darkness. Alright, let's see if you want to join without getting shanked any further. What do you think? Now prayer. Give me a runic persuasion. You want to join us, sir? If I turn my back to you, maybe you'll be more willing to join me. Oh. Alright, well. Back to the old-fashioned method. Yes, we just gotta shank you real good. Alright, go ahead and do that. Probably have everybody else go boltify everything over there on the right. Why did you get a turn? Alright. That'll work out fine. Goody, goody, goody. Now, Mr. Cerabow, are you here currently? Or are you off doing stuff? Oh my goodness. That was ridiculous. Okay, he's definitely proven himself to be amazing. He attacked the guy not charging. Oh. Guess he just figured it was the better choice. Alright. You give me a prayer here, because everybody needs a bit of healing. I'm gonna need somebody to shank that goblin, but for now we gotta deal with this other crap all over the place. You need to deal with that guy. There's a chance we can do this. Because this round, we take out... Okay, we take out the Jaguar. Or the Panther. I'm going to call them everything but the Panther the first time every time, I guarantee it. So we take out everything but that. Or rather, we take that thing out. That guy's injured. The one on the left will be badly injured. That'll leave us one round for cleanup, and then we just gotta hit a train off on the Goblin. I'm assuming train's guaranteed, otherwise we're in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, she can't reach him. Do we need that prayer? No, we have enough health to survive for now. Yeah, she can do that pretty safely. And move herself right here. You have to be able to knock this guy into critical. Come on, crit it. Yes! Okay, perfect. So that leaves 2 attacks needed on that one squire, and we're good. And then that is all the training that we need for now. That's everything that we can acquire for the time being. Alright. Wow, man, their health's going down fast. Like, they went from 3 to 1 in no time. You dick! What are you doing? No! No, don't do that crap. And he better not get an instant turn either. Guess who does have an instant turn? These guys. Alright, do that. That'll take out one of them. Other guy's critical. Friggin' CT save. Right, whatever, just safety whack. Or not. Don't care. Take yourself out with him. See if I care. I was gonna say if by some freak reason he manages to avoid that, but no. That 97% better hit. Come on, hit it. Impressive. I know there was no reason to do that, I just thought it was funny. Alright. Alright, what do we name you? Orga. No, I think we're just gonna go like Orga 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. We'll see how it all goes. How good is this Orga, by the way? 66, you're kind of iffy. Oh well. Yep, got a goblin. Got a gobmans. 66 isn't bad. Could be better, though. 74 is the max. Oh! Oh, man, we got... Yeah, that last goblin did roll max stats, then. Man, these guys are... Holy crap, these guys reproduce like crazy. We've gone 2 days. First day lays an egg. Second day... Or 3 days. First day lays an egg. Second egg it's about to hatch. Third day he's out here already. Man. Friggin' are we sure that's a panther, not a hamster? Yeah, those cat eggs. These mammals laying eggs all the time. Alrighty. Do we just make it Runeseeker now? I kind of want to say maybe just turn him into a chemist with Runeseeker skills. Might be the way to go. Unfortunately, he still hasn't learned everything for Oracle. Like, I wanted him to get move MP up, though again, if he has Train... Now, he's going to be a Runeseeker until he can get Train. And then we're just going to go, like, items and... I guess that. I don't know. How'd this guy do? Oh, wow! Great 42! Wow, man, don't make that decision any easier. Sweet baby. Goodbye. They are somehow old enough, within about an hour of being born, to go live on their own. It's fine. Anywho, on that depressing note, we're going to go ahead and call it for now for a bit of a lunch. Hello there, man, I can't even read that, that's so blue. Drex is where daggers on everyone is helpful. Well, at this point, we're going to move around day after day after day, and we're actually going to go fire these guys right now. Hi, Icy Pandas. Goodbye, Icy Pandas. We just need one trainer, that's all. Hi there, Eltiana. You're getting kicked out for getting busy with the Panthers. Yes, I am serious. That's not the kind of operation we're running here. So after this, I'm going to run back and forth between those towns and then, like, reproduce these two until we have a full team. So that's, again, that's the run. By door to Trade City, you have to have the entire thing set up. That's classic single-class challenge rules, so that's how we're doing it this time as well. Anyway, so that'll be that for the time being. Gonna take about an hour lunch, and yeah, then I will see you guys afterwards. Thank you for stopping by, and hope to see you soon. See, full team purple kitties and green gobs, that is the plan. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes, though. But alright. See you soon, guys.